Hello everybody, this is Ebontis here, and I want to give you guys a small disclaimer before this episode starts. Lord Cognito was out in PAX, and the audio I got from him is not of the highest quality that we usually like to have, so I do apologize. There will be a couple echoes of me probably coming through on his a little bit, and his is definitely not as clear quality. He was using like a headset instead of actually a good mic because he was traveling, so it was a really good podcast, so I apologize about the audio not being prime on this one. You guys know I've actually been trying to work on that for everybody, so it is a great listen. We get into kind of a crazy heated debate. Chat was amazing when we were doing this one. So if you guys listen to this one live on Twitch, you guys are awesome. You guys can catch these live on twitch.tv/Ebontis. But it was a really fun episode. So enjoy the listen. Find some way if you want to hit us up on Twitter, YouTube comments, things like that. Let us know what you guys think, because this debate is going over a couple episodes now over this whole weapon retiring thing. So enjoy the episode, and I'll talk to you guys later.
All right. And we are live. A last minute edition of The Last Word with Lord Cognito and Ebontis. Super, super spicy and super hot campfire. The people wanted it. I wanted it. Even from PAX, I wanted it. So excuse my audio levels. They are not the greatest, but I could not miss the show for the world, especially after Last Word, the last word. So E, first of all, how are you doing? How's your victory lap right now?
I have no idea what you're talking about. I'm not sure what you're talking about, sir. I'll just say the timing of everything that has happened has been insanity. I mean, for one, you're at PAX. All right, so I just want to break this down for everybody. Last week, this man called me out for not texting him for this little 2-second, 10-second login, 45-second teaser with his man Osiris. All right, so
the guard. Make sure you say it right. The guard.
And then it's it's Tuesday night, right?
Yes.
Yeah, Tuesday night. So Tuesday, the reset. Everybody's getting all their fractal line. We're getting close. You're seeing the numbers climb. I'm like, all right, we're getting close. Now, we had previously seen from, I want to say, Dylan, DMG04, that, hey, don't expect a quest or anything of that nature. They kept the expectations fairly low. So this man was sleeping about 9:30, I want to say, 9:30-ish is when the fractal line finished.
Okay.
When the fractal line finished, the beacon in the tower got a little change. You had to log in and log back out.
Right.
And from there, when you came back to the tower obelisk, there'd be a little thing, and it popped up the little mini quest thing. It said worthy. So you went and you basically lit the beacon in a baby cinematic. It's kind of cool looking. Your character would go in the middle. You took the lantern of Osiris, plopped in the middle of this thing on Mercury, and this beam of light shot up in the air because, we're calling out to all the guardians out there in the universe, trying to call all the new ones and such. So after that, you went back to the tower, and you're like, cool. That was it. Pretty simple and sweet. Then for those save your title. So if you guys are waiting on those, it's done. So you lit the beacon, finished that one.
First title, brother. My first one.
That's your first title?
I literally have so many unfinished titles that I've never bothered to get them.
Wow. Well, congratulations on your first one. Way to go. It's like my sixth. So
no doubt. Salute.
So then, for those of us following Bungie's Twitter, because we're waiting for the picture for them to say complete. When that happened, when it said complete, that's for one when we know we could go actually interact with the obelisk. They also had just a little YouTube link on the bottom of the tweet saying, hey, you guys completed it, YouTube link. You clicked on that, and it would send you over to a YouTube that was going to premiere in about 25 minutes from when I clicked on it. And it was and it literally said, Trials of Osiris, Season of Worthy, Developer Insights. And this is the point, when I see this, I start texting this man. I actually picked up the phone and called him, and I got nothing. I got a dead, silent 0.
But it's the thought.
But I will definitely say, I even made a whole video and sent him the damn link that he had before he woke up. So by the time he woke up, 2 texts, a phone call, and a video all about all the stuff that happened. But man, Trials is going to be coming. I got us here. How are you feeling from when all this went down?
Yo, let me tell you, man. All right, first off, salute to my man E. for making things right. Like this man, not only did he make it right, he went above and beyond the call. He said the ninja needs to know. I don't care how he's sleeping. I don't care what's going
If
on.
I could
He's
have
getting
sent a
that call.
courier over to your house and knocked on your door, I would have done it.
Bro, mad love. Like to get the message again. Normally I would be up during that time.
Oh, and
But because
that's why I was calling you so much. I was like, why are you
yeah,
asleep? You're
why am I
always
not
awake.
up? Because I switch. Normally I'm a vampire, so I'm awake during that night. But I had to switch my schedule because I'm going to PAX. So I got to be a day walker for you guys. So I got to be a day walker. I had an early train, so I did the responsible thing. I'm like, okay, I figured Fractalize is gonna be finished, but they're not gonna announce now. Like I didn't even think that was the last thing for my mind, to be honest.
I didn't either. They had the expectations so low.
So low. So I'm like, okay, they'll probably do some little cinematic, maybe I'll find out. So I said, I'm going to bed early. I'm gonna be a responsible human. I go to bed, I wake up to the voice message text. Everybody's hitting me, but my man E was the first. So I checked it out, and then let me tell you right now, man, it was ridiculous. Ridiculous. Okay, I'll tell you that just a little bit. But it was absolutely insane. I saw the trailer, and let me tell you, if a grown man was almost ready to tear up, when I saw that Egyptian armor, when I literally saw my favorite warlock armor of all time, and then you see in the classic maps, and then they did the beta, and Luke Smith talking about Breeze and how much it meant to him, and literally it was my life flashing upon the screen. Like, let me explain something to you guys. The reason why I go crazy, right? I'm not the greatest people, but the reason why I go crazy is the way, shout out to my man Gaming at it, the way you guys go crazy for raids, the way he goes crazy, like raids are crazy. Trials is my raid for PvP. I've only been in the lighthouse 2 times, but it's the greatest moments in Destiny. I remember Destiny 2, and remember when they did those remember what you did, like almost like passing of time in Destiny 1.
Yeah.
So those callback, I remember people at my fire team, like, you know what I'm saying? Shout out to a couple of people that, I've played by a long time, that I'm like, wow, I remember when we went to the lighthouse. Like, those are the things you remember. So to see it, to see the Egyptian theme, to see, say, Trials of Osiris, no Trials of the Nine, and Saint's voice, it was literally storybook for me. I went insane. Christmas came in February, jumped on the train, biggest Kool-Aid smile you've ever seen in my life. It was heaven, man. It was heaven. So shout out to you, E. That was amazing, man. Now, let me ask you for a person who, I don't say you don't hate, I don't think you hate Trials, but I know you were skeptical stuff. Like, what was your feeling when you saw the trailer?
First time, just the fact that I was waiting 24 minutes, I was like, all right, how long are we getting? Ended up being about 4 minutes. I was like, that's a little tease. It was a nugget at 10 o'clock at night, honestly. That was the funny part. Yeah, if you can turn me down, that'd be good.
I'm keep turning you down. You go.
So it was cool, just the fact that it was like timed. Now, granted, it was a YouTube premiere, and I know how those work. So there's somebody sitting at home waiting to be like, all right, Slady, okay, set that, bump it out like 30 minutes. So they just had the time, like 2 or 3 days from now, like unlisted. And then they're like, okay, set the premiere for 10 o'clock. For my time, it was 8 o'clock their time, I think. So it was cool to see. I like the logo as you're sitting there waiting for it. The logo on that video was pretty cool.
I'm buying all the merch. All the merch is bought. I'm telling you right now.
Oh yeah, this man is gonna buy everything from that Bungie store next season.
Every gold eye.
Everything he can buy. So then we got the premiere, and just Luke Smith talking. Like, if I could ever get a chance to interview that guy, yeah, I'd be good. Just to ask to interview Luke.
Oh yeah,
just
Luke's
he's so genuine, and for somebody at his level to be able to be so candid and kind of just like real, but he still knows how to play the proper like corporate transparency, but he does it in such a candid nature. Just like, dude, I'm just having a conversation with this guy. So just those little bits like talking about Trials. We knew in the title that it was coming. And then they started getting into it. They were like, okay, you got the OG maps coming back. I was like, I have way too many memories on all three of those.
Woo!
So you got Exodus Blue. That one definitely, I think that was a later edition. It was an OG map, was it?
No, that was
Yeah,
a
that was
later
a
edition.
little later edition. You had Cauldron, which I was like, makes sense. They're gonna give it
Makes
basically
sense.
a Shadow
I
Keep
see.
paint job.
Yes, Shadow Keep.
And then Anomaly is one I've been waiting for.
Mm-hmm.
The Anomaly map, it's a circular map, and we don't really have as many of that shape, which is very cool to see. It fits more with threes, the smaller tight quarters. Like, I want Rumble on that map. I miss Rumble on that map. That one is so much fun. So, and they all have good different themes to them. So the maps are cool. Now, there's been a giant controversy about one of the things that was said in that video. And as of 2 or 3 hours
Actually,
ago?
there's two controversies. One said we mentioned, and the big one that needs to talk. There is, I wouldn't say it's a controversy, but there is a small contingent of people. I'm going to attack Seth Fred right now. Shout out to Seth Fred. You know, I got mad love. I call you C. But anyway, so here's the deal, Seth. I get what you're saying. Now, the people who say, look, I'm not trying to hate on y'all, but that's just reskin of the old. It's literally the old suit. It's the same old map. I get it. I get where you're coming from. I cannot deny that categorically to the letter of the law. Yes, but you got to understand what's happening. This is a callback. This is an emotional callback to the prime era of Trials. They are going to give us new armor. They're going to give us new maps. But those are the most beloved sets and maps for Trials. That was peak Trials. So don't get it twisted. We're going to get the other suits, newer suits. But this, I'm telling you, that was a nostalgic thing. Look at it like that. Don't look at it as like, okay.
The nostalgia's there to some point because there's a lot of people that have been asking for it in itself. But honestly, in my mind, I see it more safe than nostalgic.
Absolutely.
I was like, because you have a 3v3 mode based around this, and when it comes to maps that they know work, they have a couple that they brought forward, but they wanted to have a couple that they know have been used for this mode before. So I will say, like, I enjoy the maps, and like for them to be able to bring multiple maps in a season when we typically don't get strikes or crucible maps or anything. If this is the way they bring them in, yes, it's safe. I would like to have seen like 3 and maybe 1 new one that they may have had some time to design. Just a little freshness. I'm not sure how close. I wanted to ask you on the armor as well, because the armor itself, there's one picture. I took a bunch of screenshots from that video. There's one picture that is, it's like the 3. I think the Warlock's kneeling down, the Hunter's on the left, and it's kind of as it's slowly zooming in. The Titan basically looks like it's almost in like the chainmail, kind of mostly the gold, black, and gray.
Yeah.
But then it's the Warlock and the Hunter, and it's basically their 2 cloth pieces. The robe and the cloak have the teal. Now, is that teal coloring always there? Am I forgetting, or is that kind of a new touch?
That's a new touch. That's like a new shader touch.
I wasn't sure if it was a shader or what, but like the teal's like, that wasn't quite there. I didn't think.
Yeah, that wasn't quite there. I agree. The thing, too, about, again, like I said, I mean, look, man, the way you have to look at it from a PvP standpoint, right? The PvE guys that are like kind of bashing it a little bit, say the remap. Remember when Age of Triumph came out for D1? And they brought back Vault of Glass. It was the same, but they added a little. They added the extra.
Those are some of the best looking armor of all time.
Exactly.
They destroy all of their armor sets.
Right. Now, granted, we didn't get the level of chroma and extension to that, you know what I'm saying, level. But I like we got the glows, for the people who go flawless, the little touches and stuff like that. Again, first one, you're bringing the feels back. You're getting people that love this mode. Those are the moments they remember. So this, don't get me wrong, this was tastefully done. They will give us stuff. You guys relax. Trust me. But continue.
So yeah, we've got similar, so we'll say very similar armor to Destiny 1. They're hearkening back to the Egyptian theme. You've got the Anubis helm for the Warlock. You got the little bird beak on the Titan. You got the eye for Osiris for the Hunter. So those are similar looks, but you did call out one thing. They're definitely making a throwback to the flawless ornaments, but you're making the armor pieces glow when you go flawless, and it's a weekly thing. At the end of the week, gone. So, I mean, it's got to be something you continuously do earn and go to the lighthouse. So that's one of those things where it's going to be like, if you want to glow, you got to do it every weekend.
Oh yeah, you got to do it every week, baby. You got to shine. You got to shine for all.
Now,
bro, I am so hyped.
I know you are. I know you are.
You have no idea. It literally was Christmas for me. That this is the PvP guys. We've been beaten down for so. How long has trials been going? How long has it been?
I'm trying to think when it dropped off because year one of Destiny was year one, Curse and Warmind. When did it leave? Because it was before Forsaken. It didn't just like end with Forsaken. It was gone before that, right?
It was gone before Forsaken.
So, I mean, you're creeping not quite 2 years, but like 15 months, something like that, like a year and a half.
Like at least a year. That's a long time, man. And we're going to talk about other modes and other. Got a ton to get into. But, yeah, man, we're going to see. But the only thing I would say, let's get back on track, is the only thing that made me cringe was free. When I heard free, I'm like, I don't know how I feel about the masses getting in. And then obviously we did find out at the time the artifact. And me and you had a very extensive discussion back and forth over text about that. So yeah, let's get into it, E. Let's get right into it.
Then this has all happened in like the past day and a half. Like the time is weird because this has been a whole lot going on in like 2 days. So one of the biggest controversies for all of this in the developer insight little Vidoc thing, they said power matters. Yes. Now they had not clarified yet, but a little bit later between Destiny Roundup and Reddit and Twitter and all these things, there was a question out there about power mattering, wondering if the artifact was going to affect your power level. And up until about 3 hours ago, it was going to.
Yes.
And this was, I mean, I can't tell you how many tweets, videos were made. Fallout put his one out there, and that was his big one. And it was very justified because the big issue with
Fallout say? I missed it.
What? Oh, he had a whole video about it.
Oh, he went in?
Oh, he had a whole video about it. Yeah. He's not the only one. There's a lot. Like the main issue, you have two main issues that like everyone's going to work. Okay, three. One is just if they deliver on rewards, we won't know that until we get them. That's fine. They're just going to hopefully deliver. Second one, cheating. We know it's going to be apparent, even more so on PC with aimbots and, it's peer-to-peer, so your IP isn't hidden, so there's lag and DDoSing, all that stuff. That has actually been there since, like, D1. Right. It's just it seems to be more and more apparent as people seem to get smarter about it.
Right.
But the biggest one that I think Bungie has control over, I mean, yeah, they can work on cheating, but is the light level. And Cosmo came out and replied to somebody asking, is the artifact, I think it was a tweet or Reddit, I don't forget where, and said, yes, the artifact power will be your artifact power will affect all aspects of the game, including trials. And that opened a giant can of worms. So what was your initial reaction when you actually saw that, hey, this is going to be a thing? Now, as of 3 hours, this has changed, but we still want to kind of go through the whole process of these last couple days.
Let's go through it, because the vibes back then, again, I'm getting on my... Me and you are going back and forth. We're having dialogue with text. And I'm like, you and me are on the same boat. I'm like, bro, that is a mistake. Because me and you both know if you separate the artifact grind, and again, I'm Lost Sector hoarding, or I'm Fractaline hoarding. So as a PvEer, you can completely abuse that system. I know guys that I was running around in, Destiny 1080 light, crazy light. So if those guys are coming into trials with power enabled, this is way worse than like Iron Banner and stuff like that. And I think what happened is they got too safe because they're like, oh, it's not really affecting Iron Banner. The reason why is nobody's playing Iron Banner.
not as many. Yeah.
Not as many as playing. It's the incentive is not there. So if you put this mode that is free and an artifact grind, people are going to abuse it. So I am so glad we got to where we got to today, because that really would have put a dent. That even more worse than me than anti-cheating. Like in the back of your mind, I think Taxi said it or somebody said it. I forgot who said it on Twitter. You're always gonna think, damn, why did I lose that gunfight? Was that percentage more? You know what I'm saying? Because that guy was 1100 and I'm 980. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it was like Imtash had a video, him and a couple other like big predominant people were sitting there playing like Frostbolt and Glad, and they were just chatting, and he posted up the video of them just talking, and basically the biggest thing is like, some people say it's like, some people always worry things in this game are designed for streamers.
Right.
The hardcore, dedicated, play a crap load of hours. Those are the type of people who would likely see one of the biggest advantages of this. I mean, yeah, you can go farm bounties and lost sectors on the moon and do that over and over and over. That's, I mean, the people who still play a crap load are going to get an advantage. But a lot of your predominant people where this is their job still did not want this. Because, again, it's the idea for the masses to have a chance. Because the later and later and later you get in the season, the bigger that disparity is going to be. And especially if somebody's like, hey, a little slow in the season, they jump into one match, and they're like, hey, I'm like 961, cool, I'm working on leveling up, but hey, let me go try trials. And this dude is like power level 1020, and he's got a 60 power level delta, and he just steps all over these people. It's not going to be fun for them. And then your trials population
to the lighthouse today.
And then
1100, let's link up.
You're done.
The LFGs would have been lit.
But then your trials population that has potential for a new thing is going to drop off hard and fast. And that's the issue. Yeah. They don't want this to be a mode where people are like, hey, it's no fun, I'm out. Like, they want to make sure that even the casual people, yeah, you may have like a 10 level difference if you're not working pinnacles. And that's like incentive to go in there and do some pinnacles so you can have that closer match. But we're talking a max of 10. We're not talking about 50 for a casual person. So that is huge, huge, huge that it would have been bad. Now, I'm just saying 3 hours ago, roughly, like whenever that came out, Luke Smith himself tweeted that all PvP power-enabled modes will not include artifact power. So that has been changed. And if you want to see if they listen to the community, right there, they had it in the developer insights. Cosmo, basically still official from Bungie, community manager, saying it's there. And a lot of people, and then they turn around and switch it like 48 hours later.
Shout out to the community. Shout out to the community, because let's be real, are complaining did enough damage. And again, I really, the only thing, I got to be honest, I question why they were fighting.
I guess I saw a tweet too, and I was wondering, it's like, and there were three things. Yeah, I was like, what was the thought process? And there were three different, like, somebody was like, is it this, this, or this? And the last one, which somebody else agreed with, I wish I could find the tweet. Basically, they said they had done testing, and it wasn't as dramatic as they think, but the perception of, like, the general audience still thought it was going to be enough.
Yeah. It just, again, in the current structure of the Sandbox, with this bounty grind, where every activity that you do gives you experience, right? That's the new destiny right now. So this whole loop, gameplay loop, just doesn't sit well. The artifact just goes against the trials power level enabled concept. It just doesn't mess. I don't know why they were being so stubborn, but in their defense, they manned up. They made a last minute change. They called an audible in the fourth quarter, very last minute, and I'm thankful. Now, I just want to touch on one thing. I want to shout out my boy Mikey Moore in the chat, in reference to cheaters. Now, look, I'm with you. A lot of people say, hey, that's even worse. I get that. Now, in their defense, remember about 2 months ago, they were talking about these new heightened security measures that they're ready to roll out. The Banham is going to be super lit. You know what I'm saying? So we got to see. We got to hold their feet to the fire there. I am impressed that they even mentioned it, because we know that's going to be imperative. But I kind of need to know how the quest is to get in with this whole it being free. That's my only last word.
Yeah, and I saw one person say, be like, dude, give me a 7-hour quest to get in trials. Make it a hell of an investment the first time.
Yes.
So those free accounts just be like, oh, let me go over here, shoot 5 people, and I'm good to go. Like, no, you need it to be a lengthy investment. So those cheaters have to actually work hard if they're going to get into it. And then if they get banned, they're like, God, I cannot keep doing this like 5-hour thing just to go play another match. Like, it needs to be, I mean, I'm okay. I know that sounds weird and stupid to be like, I want to spend like 6 hours in the game just to be able to go do trials. If that keeps cheaters out of it for a one time, I don't need to do it every time, but one account-wide thing, yes, please.
Yes,
like, then it can't be too short. It cannot be like, go do a PvP match, go get 10 kills, and then you're good. It's got to be a long, lengthy thing.
I'm almost willing to deal with an Izanagi style burden.
Well, okay, maybe not waiting on that rare bounty. Don't rare bounty us there, Cognito. Don't do that.
Hey, if it means keep the cheaters out, think about the people who really want to play trials. If you got an Izanagi, think about how bad you want to play. Hey, I wouldn't be mad.
I might be a little.
That might be a little excessive. But
no rare bounties. But yeah, the idea is generally that we want some pretty decent hurdle for the people who can just be like, oh, I'm going to go make a new free account, that they don't want to do that a lot. I mean, the cheaters are going to be there. Some are more about it. And the other thing is, as they're saying, those banhammer tools are going to be quicker and the appeal process is a bit more. There's going to be an automation of, like, the ban is going to be somewhat automated. The appeals are going to be a little quicker. Yeah. If you have anything happen to you, report them. Like, just because if they start seeing multiple things,
everybody get ready.
Yeah, it's like, if you now, don't be like a jackass and report people who are just beating you. Yeah, don't report people who are just beating you. I mean, that's just the game. But if you see somebody is cheating, you think it could be, report it, because if they get multiple like interactions on one person, that's going to probably trigger something, and it's going to check a couple things, and it's probably going to go quicker. So that automated process was set up for trials. I can bet you that.
Yo, Bender said he reported Ebontis beating me. Snitches on deck.
Y'all are ridiculous.
Let's go.
So I'm curious about the quest. We've got trials not affected by the artifact, and Iron Banner too, which is good because I got tired of that crap too. I'm like, if somebody's got like 10 levels on me, they're not gonna out that, like, yeah, there were so many things to be like, why am I not like one-shotting? Oh. Yeah. So we'll get into Sandbox changes and stuff a little bit later.
Yep. Oh, we got stuff to talk about, baby.
So much. Wow. So then you got the trials release. I'm trying to think of anything else in that video. Got the 3 new maps, 3v3s, elimination, still similar loading screen, like duking it out. Power enabled, then not enabled.
Right.
The quest to get into it, so it's free, but you got to do the. I'm trying to think. Is there anything else we know about trials that we haven't covered yet?
Just again, like I said, the armors. We saw some hints of some guns and stuff like that.
Yeah. Okay. And, so one of them looks like an ornament for Outbreak Perfected.
Yes.
Straight up an ornament, because that gun looks too unique.
I was so happy with Outbreak Perfected. You know, being that went through that long quest line for that gun. I'm so glad they preserved it. Hashtag save the gun.
Hashtag save some of the guns. Save some.
We're going to get to that.
Oh, yeah. Oh, no. Chat's going to kill me, so it's fine.
Yes.
But yeah, so we know Trials is coming. Starts on March 13th, so it's the first Friday. It's kind of like the raid of the season, 3 days in.
Yeah.
Now, with the artifact not affecting power, we do know that you don't have to farm as many bounties. Now, you could start stockpiling some bounties if you really want to. Get a little ahead of the game, but the artifact's not going to matter. So it's really just about your gear. So stockpiling bounties, not going to do that much for you. Now, if you want to go raid, run Nightfalls, go run the dungeon between now and then, get a few extra pinnacle drops to be a little step up if you've been slacking, like this guy, then yeah, Friday the 13th will be quick, and you might be a few levels under. But I can tell you, yeah, it's not going to be quite as crazy, which is good. And the experience won't affect anything, so you don't have to save one bounty. I'm so happy I don't have to like bounty farm right now.
Now, I got a comment, though. The only thing they got to bring back is they have to, obviously, the classic system, the boons, that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I want to know about like boons and stuff, because that'll be interesting.
They need the trials bounties back. Because remember, there's a lot of people in the chat that I agree.
Yeah, that was a later edition.
I'll be the first to admit, your boy did not get his doctrine of passing. You know what I'm saying? Adept. I had the regular war mode version from the bounties, the one that you completed when you had played a certain amount of matches, amount of kills. Because what that does is that incentivizes guys to say, look, I'm not good enough to go to the lighthouse, but at least I'll keep playing because I got the chance every week for either a trials weapon or a trials armor, and that is key. So we got to see that. I want to know that loop. We got to know what else behind that loop system behind there. But if they bring back the trials bounties, that's going to keep the casuals to at least try. Because let's be real, it's super sweat, right?
Oh, yeah.
There's nothing more discouraging than a huge amount of people not getting to the lighthouse, right? So we got to get that popping, you know, so that those bounties I think that was like the second season of Trials they introduced
Yeah, they
that,
brought it later, and it
that,
made a difference.
yeah, barely even later. That really got me to play Trials because at least if I didn't go, I got something. You know what I'm saying? Just for playing.
The other thing we did see from Luke is that matchmaking is going to be based on connection and also on your card state.
Yes.
So it's card state connection based matchmaking. Now, if you were like, what is card state? If you guys don't know Trials and if you guys are newer, that's totally fair. It hasn't been in the game in ages. Basically, you have a punch card. You have a certain number of wins you're trying to get to complete the card, and you have a max number of losses before your card basically is done. So generally, it was trying to get 9 wins, at least in Trials of Osiris, it was 9 wins, and you had an option of 3 losses before that card was done. Now, the big goal, which is why we built the beacon, is to try and get 9 wins, no losses, and go travel to the lighthouse. When you mentioned the adept gear, that's where you got it. That was the adept. That was the... Later on, it was primaries that had elementals. It was, your bigger pieces. And this, at this point, is going to be your pinnacle drop of probably, at least for sure, a pinnacle drop every week.
Yeah.
So it's definitely a PvP pinnacle drop. And that's kind of the big one we don't know is the rewards.
Yes.
We don't know, is it going to be like a high-level piece of armor? Is it going to be a masterwork piece of armor? Is it going to be just a weapon? Is it a special version of a weapon with like another perk on the end? Like, we don't know how that stuff's going to work yet.
That armor bonuses.
Please let it not be like the dungeon armor. That dungeon armor is just BS, and I'm trying not to cuss right now because I really want to. That dungeon armor, yeah, it comes masterwork. If it's masterworked at 62, I just want to slap that armor in the face.
Yeah,
it's terrible. Fact. You got a 50 stat roll. Yeah, you have 10 energy, so you can use all the slots, but your stats are terrible.
Terrible.
Yeah, so please, like, the Trials rewards have to be good.
Yo, Steve is in his bag. He said, going flawless guaranteed 5 enhancement cores. I'm dead. Yo, they pull
and
that
that's the other thing, though. They need to get prisms. They need to get shards. Those need to be involved. Like, if you go 7 wins, maybe that's a shard. Maybe that's a shard. Or it needs to be something like that a week to be able to have a PvP version to get these currencies. Because right now, just in these crazy 980 Nightfalls for those shards, they need to spread the love on that one. Those Ascendant shards need a bit more out there.
Absolutely.
So upgrade materials, solid armor. I want like weapons that are worth the grind. Like, you go 9 wins, you better hope that drop isn't just like a regular rapid hit kill clip auto rifle. It's got to be something different. I'm hoping. I just don't know if they're going to go big, and we'll get to the weapon discussion a little later, but I do want them I do want them to stand out. Even if I have a struggle getting them, I still want them to stand out so the people that do love PvP enjoy it.
I will say this though. I'm entertaining the thought of it would be kind of cool if they had like a Trials exotic. I don't know if they do it, but I think it would be cool. You know what I'm saying? But listen,
it'd be cool to have a quest. Like, you go to the lighthouse and you get a quest.
Yeah. Absolutely. What else we got?
So, and the boons will help. If you guys don't know what the boons are, basically they would do different things. One of them would count a win as 2 wins, so you wouldn't have to get quite as many. Another one would kind of give you a get out of jail free card on a loss. And there was a third one, I cannot remember what it was.
One was like an extra win. Your first win was like a double win.
Yeah, one would count as a double. There was 3. So you had the double,
one counter double,
and the mercy. And there was I can't remember the third. If anybody else does, let me know.
Either. Damn, I'm forgetting the third one. Yeah, I'm forgetting.
Yeah, I want that armor to be 60 stat at a minimum. You guys are joking around with like 50 minimum. And 49. You guys can get the hell out of here.
Do you think they would offer ornaments, like Trials ornaments? You think each season of Trials
seasons might be ornaments? Season might be ornaments. Ornaments or different armor sets. I could be like, I would like there to be like a set of armor and ornaments from Trials, but if it's going to be refreshed on the seasonal basis, I don't know how frequent they can keep building. Again, we don't know how many sets of armor they can build in the game each year, or each season.
Right. Good point. But like a good start. I mean, I'm excited. I can't wait there to see what they cook up reward wise. And like I said, they got the formula, we got the PvP, we got the elimination. I know what I need though. I need trials specific armor perks. For example, back in the day, they used to have stuff like
Faster
either like a
res
little bit,
or
yeah, a little quick res, a little bit something that really helps with the mold. You
I
know what I'm
mean
saying?
that's across the board in the game. I want raid perks too.
Facts, facts. Now, let me ask you this though: did we get trials mod?
Gonna have to see what the hell this artifact looks like because we don't know if it's
Ooh.
PvE. They did state anti-barrier is gonna matter in PvP now.
Oh, we're gonna talk about them Titans.
Yeah, so that'll be a thing.
Yes, yes.
But I'll be curious, yeah, if like there's anything a bit more PvP focused because Trials
Mhm.
isn't going away after this season, so I don't know if they'll build the artifact around that as much.
Yeah.
So we'll just have to see.
We'll never see. The trials is back. Life is good, y'all. Life is good.
Yeah.
So
So
let's get to it. What else we got?
phase 2 of a crazy 24-hour period. If you guys have never read one of Luke Smith director's cuts, go dig up the old ones. They're all amazing reads.
Oh boy. Here we go.
Now, you guys hear a disgruntled Cognito on the other
We get
side of this
some alcohol.
podcast.
Get some drink. Let me spike this. Some of the all alcohol we could get.
Shout out to Bender with the bits. Thank you very much, sir. I like the little sword animation. So, basically, sometimes Luke Smith will come out and do a director's cut. He is the game director. Coming from that high up, he's got perspective of those guys play all the time. How are things in the studio? What is the community like? What have they learned from the past 6 months to a year? And they're kind of give a retrospective look and also a glance into the future to either explain changes that they know are coming and what they learned these things from.
Mm-hmm.
So as we go through, he's still, I mean, I'm going to go and hit like highlighted bits of this thing. I did a video on it separately. I gave my thoughts on it. So I'm going to be kind of more bouncing stuff off of you, but I'll still be here.
Definitely.
The big thing is they want Destiny to be exactly what they've said before. An action MMO, single evolving world that you can play anytime, anywhere with your friends. And they said it's a game they want to keep building on, but they always have to make sure they do it with the creative and work-life balance that is sustainable for all the employees at Bungie. And this is one of those things, if you guys have keeping up with like game development, especially current and news stories and things, some studios do not treat their employees with like the respect of their time and work-life balance. They want them working 80, 90 hours killing themselves to make sure they pump out content as fast as possible. Now, most people who get into the game industry have a passion for games and they're building things that they have passion about, so it may not be as much. But again, some employers can take advantage of it. Some of them want to respect their time. And Bungie has been through that before. They've been crunched. They've done the Halo things. And back in those days, they killed themselves for hours. They decided after all that was done to say, we're not doing that anymore. Now, they may go through times of like, yeah, we're going to be working some extra hours, but it's not like insanity. They do draw lines. I mean, there was the Lord of Wolves fix. We could either do the Lord of Wolves fix now, or we can wait 2 weeks, have a normal development cycle time, and we'll get it in the next hot fix. And that was one of those things they call out little things like that to say, hey, we're still going to give it's a video game. We're not going to kill our employees. We'll fix it as soon as we can. And that's just a balance that people need to, again, remember. These people have lives. It's not like, oh, this game isn't working right for me. You must fix it right now. You can't sleep or have lives. Like, if you go to work in your job and your boss is like, well, these people want this thing, so you have to work 70 hours in one day. You're like, well, I can't do that. Well, that's what you have to do. Like, there's a point where you got to draw a line. And I just wanted to call out that they just take a second and remember that when things are not fixed as quickly as we would like them to be.
Absolutely. And I want to double down on that from this standpoint of one thing that, first of all, shout out to Luke. We say this every director's cut, but I still think it needs to be emphasized. Bungie is probably the most transparent game studio I have ever covered in the history of gaming. Most directors, most game designers, most studio heads will never give you the kind of things this guy is giving. The thought process in his head, the thought process of the studio, also telling you about bandwidth, telling you about their former partners and how things are now structurally. So I gotta respect it, regardless. Do I agree with everything that we're gonna get into? No, but at the end of the day, I respect it because you know what? Most game devs would never tell you none. Trust me, I'm at PAX. Dudes will go out of their way to not reveal information until they feel comfortable, until they're ready. You know what I'm saying? That's just how it is. He's giving you a look. This is what we're gonna do. You know what I'm saying? Now, when you do stuff in this fashion, that softens the blow for the man, for the man. Doesn't get everybody still happy, but things they may not like, which we're going to get to. At least, because you know what, this guy didn't have to tell me that. He delivered the bad news to my doorstep. We didn't have to do it. So let's get to it, man.
Yeah. So, and one other thing they also said, and this was actually a bit of a comfort too.
Yes,
Luke Smith, especially up at his level, it's him, Mark Noseworthy, just the few people that are him, Pete Parsons. There's about 3 people up at the top.
Mm-hmm.
There was a time when they broke off from Activision where their nights were focused on, will Bungie survive? That was their thought. Yeah. Will they survive? Are we going to get through this? And they said now it's where can Destiny go and how can we get there? So they've made that switch over to be an independent publisher. They see that this is like a possible thing that they can maintain. And that's good news because the focus isn't on, are we going to stay afloat? Okay, it's like, now how far are we going downriver? And I like that. That's just a good thing to hear. So the big thing that he wants to focus on, because this is his little quote that I do want to read. When I came back from the holiday this year, something about Destiny felt off to me. Season 9 is, to me, the best winter season we've done in Destiny 2. And I'd say I'd probably agree with that. It's been a really good season. But something felt missing. And I agree. I've been really casual. At least I feel like I've been casual this season. And that missing element is what I think we need to focus on throughout 2021 and into 2020. Throughout 2020 and into 2021. And he said, aspiration, a hope or ambition of achieving something. Now, I mean, he states later on, I think this could have been even one of Dado's videos quotes. He's like, there's so much to do and none of it matters. That was one of Dado's videos. There's a lot of things to do in this game, but the feeling of it mattering has kind of fallen away a little bit.
Seasonal grind.
But he's like, aspiration and trying to achieve something is different for everybody. And he said, I'm not so naive as to think we can make something that matters to everyone. All have different values, goals, and time. But I do think Destiny 2 can do a better job of enabling players to set short, medium, and long-term goals to work towards. And I think this was just a huge piece to know there's going to be challenging content. But whatever is a challenge to you, to me, to somebody who has like 3 kids but still wants to play this game, who works 60 hours a week and is a lawyer but still likes to boot up Destiny occasionally on the weekend. Everybody has different things they go for. Some people are like, hey, I'm just trying to get to like level 20 in the season pass because I got to play this like an hour a week. Then there's people who like play the game for a living and they're sitting there at level 300 because they don't have anything better to do. I'm going to try and solo Nightfalls. You're going to try and get to the lighthouse. Everybody has different things. Some are longer, some are short term. So Bungie is never going to be able to win every single battle for every person.
Absolutely.
But they are going to try and at least work on getting better at setting different standards for different people and getting goals out there that each kind of level of player, be it the casual, the hobbyist, the insane, hardcore, whatever you want to call those, but like giving each like level and tier, try at least the best that they can within the bandwidth of their studio, something to aspire for.
Right.
So overall, I mean, that's one of their goals for this stuff. So the first thing he talks about is seasons of change.
Yes.
So they've had a couple seasons under their belt since Shadowkeep, and they've been going through discussions internal. They're seeing like, hey, how do the seasons feel? How do the people in the studio feel? What's the community talking about? What are the numbers? How is their engagement? What is their data showing? What's their historic year over years? Like all this stuff they're looking at. And they said when they're looking at seasons for year 4, they're already talking about year 4. We're talking 6 months in advance right now, and we aren't even in our next season, and we got 2 seasons to go to get there. They said there's some things that went well in the past couple seasons. There's some things we need to work on. The ones that went well, they stated the seasonal narratives have started to connect to one another, and also those seasonal quests and bringing back Saint 14. And I will definitely say the narrative this season, so good. Another one, they said the simplicity of the battle pass, just like getting the battle pass in there. It doesn't hurt anybody, and I think it's only a benefit. Is it perfect? Probably not. It could use some tweaks, but it is an addition to seasons we did not have before, which I think only adds value. I mean, how have you feel? I know for the narrative for you, that's always a big one. So have you felt, even without a raid, without, any big major, we're just talking about a couple seasons. How is the story from Eris to Saint? How have these past 6 months been for you?
I mean, like I told you, it's a weird thing because on one side, I do understand the hardcore that were complaining about emptiness and their feeling of that. But for me, he made a point in this director's cut. These were what he called deep cut. for people who were bid with Destiny from the very beginning. And for people who know that Lord Fifes and all that, we've heard about the legendary Saint 14, we've heard about these mythical characters, and now we're getting to see them and they're becoming NPCs. Obviously, Osiris speaks for itself, you know how I feel about that. But at the end of the day, it's lore building and world building that I always felt missing. So again, they may not have satisfied the hardcore, but as far as the story beats, the deep cuts, I like that aspect. Yes, it was a little bit more casual this season. It was very reward heavy on certain levels, but I don't feel it was a missed season. You know what I'm saying? Not going to please everybody. You know what I'm saying? But I felt for the most part, I was able to get what I wanted to get done, jump out, and now they have to fill that void so that the hardcore guys say, okay, I need something to continue to strive for and for it to mean something. Because the theme with the seasonal content on is, well, why am I going to grind this power level if, oh, you're going to reset the artifact, right? Or why am I going to do this and there's nothing, there's no pinnacle. It doesn't, it was just, a lot of things didn't mean what they used to mean because of the structure. So in that sense, I understand change has to happen.
Yep. So also when we talk about seasons, they talk about they aren't feeling like they're delivering an evolving world. Instead, they're delivering the feeling of ephemeral, private activities and rewards that go away. And it's true. We had the invasions on the moon, which honestly, the animation, that alone, I love that animation when they come in on the moon and the Vex were in there. And this also comes into how they're going to build their lore. Like if the Vex invade the moon and then we push the Vex back, well, you know, they're not going to be coming anymore. But the Vex offensive, while it may not have been everybody's favorite activity and did get a bit samey after a while, still is an activity that was built by developers, took time, rewards, boss encounter, mechanics, AI, all that effort, gone. December, whenever this thing started, it's gone.
Right.
So,
and he made a comment about, as a studio, they can't sustain that. They can't sustain putting all these resources towards creating something like a sundial, right? Creating something like a Vex offensive, and then just to pull it away from a restance that's just completely unproductive. You know what I'm saying? So they know that has to change. And then they kind of talk about, again, I know you're going to get into where they want to kind of pivot.
Yeah. And he said the Forsaken Annual Pass, while there were multiple studios involved, which they no longer have. And again, they mentioned, they're like, hey, our friends at other studios, former studios, but they don't have them anymore.
Vicarious.
High Moon Vicarious made, literally, like, each studio made a season on the Annual Pass. And then you had Season of Opulence. Was that Vicarious, right?
Yeah, I believe so.
Yeah, I mean, Opulence was like, you got the Menagerie, you had the Crown of Sorrows raid, you had the big barge on Nessus. I mean, you had teams building so much stuff. You had Season of the Forge. You had the Forges. That was a little smaller but quicker, but you had 4 different Forges. You had also another raid. Remember, these other studios were involved. Those were when those raids came in. When it is Bungie, the bandwidth is not there. They only have so much. But the cool thing he said about the Annual Pass was the fact that if I stopped playing for a season and I came back, like if you played Forge, Skip Drifter, came back for Opulence, there's even more in the game than was when you left.
Yes, absolutely.
The way it is right now is they're working on trying to make these moments that are memories. Like, hey, is the Corridors of Time going to be remembered by everybody who played? Yes. But they feel like they're leaning way too heavy right now on the FOMO. The fear of missing out is almost too much. Because, like, hey, were you in the game for 2 weeks? No, I was out of the country on business. Well, you missed the coolest thing, but you'll never see it. Like,
you'll never see it again.
That's a bit too much. But that's also, like, whoever developed the Corridors of Time, every one of the rooms, the end puzzles, the whole thing, to have that go away within a season is too tight. So they're working on trying to make these seasonal activities not be specifically season-esque, but kind of last until the next expansion.
Right.
Because most people, when we go into Season of Worthy, even if you didn't play, but if you buy Season of Worthy, Saint 14's probably just going to be sitting in the tower. You don't know how he got there. You're not going to get to go save him. And their idea would be, hey, if you log in with Season of the Worthy, well, before you go do trials, you probably got to go save this guy.
Yeah, how about that?
So, I mean, that would be a much cooler way for anybody at least go. And then if you get to September and you're like, okay, yeah, if you missed it, it's like 6 months old. Okay, now you got it. It's like 9 months at that point. Okay, well, Trials and Saint are here. Just get on board. Like, it's been long enough at that point.
Yeah.
So it's just kind of that point of They're trying to find a delicate balance. And they're those two ideas are butting heads. They want to make memorable
Yeah.
moments, but they don't want to develop content just like that fades into the vapor.
That's basically, yep.
And
Exactly.
it's they can't
It's
do so they're
resource
trying
management
to
at this
go
point.
back and forth and balance these two, which is tough.
Yeah, absolutely. Resource
So
management.
the idea that they're trying to get at is they mentioned they're trying to take these seasonal themes of like Sundial and the time lost weapons and, as you said, pivot and put these into some of the more core activities that they're going to want you to play anyway.
Right.
I mean, the season pass has a collection thing, so you got to go play Gambit for a while. You got to go do a Crucible ritual weapon. You got to go play strikes and get solar kills and all those things. But then also, and those have a lot of bounties related to them. You go to Zavala, you go to Gambit, you're getting a lot of experience from those.
Right.
But on the other side, you're like, hey, well, there's this specific seasonal stuff that's gone in 3 months. Well, I got to go play Sundial. There's not really a lot of bounties there, but there's these specific weapons, so I got to play Sundial. But then I need to go play these other things. So they want to try and work on in future seasons, kind of melding those two better.
Mm-hmm.
So they want to take those core activities, the repeatable playlists, not like a quest line, not a campaign, but those repeatable activities, and infuse more of the seasonal activity into those things. So like, take something like the Sundial. I mean, making these 6-person match made activities at some point, that is going to get old. So they got to probably steer away from that. But they also want to say like, hey, what if I go in a Crucible playlist and I can get the Steel Feather repeater?
Right.
That's the general idea, is taking more of these things, spreading them into the playlist. If you had every time lost weapon in Crucible, Gambit, and Strikes, if you just spread all of those and you have a chance to get a time lost weapon by those.
When that's a better way of handling it too. You know what I'm saying? Because again, you're not just giving it away. You're putting it in core activities so that people grind it. If they get a chance to drop, it's rewarding. I like that aspect. But my question though is, how are they going to handle? It's still a balance because again, a new season comes. You introduce a new threat, right? You most likely still kind of introduce a new activity. Do you think they're going to pivot away from new activities they do? Just the fact they don't want them to go away because of the resources.
And that's the hard part. It's like if you make, and I mean, I think the Sundial, if you can kind of turn me down.
Okay.
I don't know if you can get much lower, but yeah.
Okay. I thought to hear you that way, but
no, that's all right. So, I think the Sundial is one, and not all work this way because they're not all going to be this way. But I think the Sundial is one that I honestly could see as a strike. Like, that would be one that could be, so that way the development resources are not completely wasted. It finds another home in the game.
Right.
And I think that would, stuff like I mean, making Vex offensive.
Bad activity. It may be, from a.
And again, that's the tweak. It's 6-man versus 3-man strikes, and that's where I was like, I don't know. But if they keep making activities that have seasonal themes, like the Sundial is very specific. I don't know if anything's going to happen at the end of the season for the Sundial to either shut down, go away, not be needed. But I feel like at the end of the season, it is gone. The Sundial activity is going away.
Especially even narratively. It has to go because spoiler, you ain't doing it. Like apparently, Osiris, our wily warlock, he had some meeting with the Drifter, and in order to, one of the key components of the Sundial is some who could be wrong? Bife put it out like an Amin-Kara part, some type of dark part, which only I think the way Bife deduced it can only be one of two things and one like that. So. That needs to go because even Segura was like, "Yo, fam, you really doing this?" He's like, "Look, we got it. We have to do this. I have to try to save Saint at all costs." And the Drifter was overlooking. He was brought in to overlook Sundial from a narrative standpoint. So I think now that Saint is back, they have to figure out a way. Like they can't stay there. At least in my.
Yeah. So I'll be curious if there's any kind of wrap up narrative cinematic thing for the end of the season, because when that's a whole thing. I mean, you log into Mercury normal, not there, which is still weird to me, by the way.
It is weird.
You go patrol Mercury, it's not sitting there. But if you go to the Sundial, it's the same damn middle of the planet. Yeah. So it's very odd. That's one of those, unless it's like here's your normal patrol zone, and then over here on Mercury in another section, this is unless it's that, but they don't ever tell you. But it sure looks like it's just plopped where the public event usually lies. So it is a bit odd. But that's the struggle they have right now, is they're trying to figure out a way. We want to give you guys fresh stuff for the season, but thematically it fits in just a season.
Mm-hmm.
We're pushing back the Vex who wanted to invade the moon. Okay, you pushed them back. We're done. That activity doesn't need to be there anymore. So again, they have to try and both balance the narrative, like that they're trying to move a story forward, but make that narrative actually also have a functional activity that might be able to stay around. Like, and it's not an easy thing for them to do. Like, hats off to all of those people and minds coming together, be like, how do we do this and not this, and spend 6 months making a sundial that's gone in 3. Like, it spends more time to make a damn activity than it's going to be in the game.
Yeah, and then, like I said, for it to go away. So I'm very curious moving forward how I love the idea of the loot pool of a thing like a sundial, thus going into core activities. I love that. I just want to know, does this mean now last a little? I just want to know how they deal with cleanup, because they did say, he did specify from a technical standpoint, it cannot exist. Another reason why it can't exist, right?
Yeah, the game cannot keep growing. They stated that in multiple places.
From what we know, based on what we've seen, shout out again, my boy Jason Schreier, we had him on. He told us, because I had to ask about, he's got crazy connections. And I said, look, they're by themselves. You understand the resource thing. Is Destiny 3, in your opinion, coming? You know what I'm saying? Like, soon, within that same cadence between 1 and 2, 3 or 4 years, whatever it is. Because we're about time for Destiny 3. Technically,
yeah, 3-year cadence. That's what we did before.
Yeah, so at least we figured we'd get the announcement. And Jason Schreier told me on Iron Law Podcast, oh no, they're staying with Destiny for a while. And lo and behold, here we are with the director's cut. Luke literally said it verbatim, like, this is where we're rocking right.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, the season's on year 4. That's not like, hey, new game. That's like, hey, there's an expansion season's coming in September. We're doing this again.
Exactly.
That's at least another year for sure.
For sure. So the vibe is going to be, again, annual pass, expansion. You know what I'm saying? Annual pass, that kind of thing. And if they do that, then it leads us into what we'll talk about with regards to loot retention.
Oh, I'm saving the big one for last. Don't worry.
That's when you really want to shout.
That's when I'm just gonna let you jump all over it. So,
man.
But this is the idea: is like they're trying to take the thematic world of like these narrative themes. Hey, bring in State 14, and we've got the sundial and time lost weapons because we're traveling through time. Trying to take some of that and potentially in year 4, spin that, either put more of that stuff into the core activities, or maybe do even more of it into just the core of the game. And honestly, I love that. I like the idea behind it. I just want to see how it goes.
Execution.
So that will be the difference is the key. And he even said, he's like, we built a world, and this is the other thing. This is why I'm doing this and waiting the other one till later, because these two both tie together.
Yeah, go for it.
They said we built a world where players can encounter others, but we haven't made a world with fights challenging enough where you feel like other players matter. Now, this is one of those things where there are public spaces on every planet you can just patrol. But I can tell you the only time you may ever even have a group of people together that really might care about being next to each other is a public event. But guess what?
Yeah.
Almost every public event can be soloed.
Yes.
They're not that hard anymore. The only ones you can't solo is typically because of line of sight. It's the one with the 3 Vex ones because you just usually can't see it. But other than that, you can solo every public event, and that's as big as we go. Agreed. Now, from other games that I've played, I'll use a reference of what I used last week that pissed the world off. World of Warcraft still had massive spaces. No, but okay, so these are massive spaces. What I would love to see, take a flashpoint. 1, I would love to see a flashpoint crank the difficulty on that planet up by like 10.
Fact.
2, on that same flashpoint, there is a world boss. And that has an icon on the map that is a timer countdown. And either every day, every 6 hours, there's this just mammoth of a boss that comes in themed to that planet. And like you need all 9, however many people can load into one planet, the whole damn and whatever. Yeah.
In the patrol space.
Yep. And if you walk up to him, he's just gonna step on you and squish you like a bug. But if you got like 9 people pairing up, wells, bubbles over here, trading off, like trading damage, hitting crit points, whatever you can do, it takes the whole damn planet. Like you see it, be like, everyone's loading into this instance. We're gonna be waiting 5 minutes. Crazy dude is showing up. We're going to town. Got some unique reward to go with him. That is the type of thing where the public spaces need to get to.
That's why I love Escalation Protocol, because it gave me that feeling. What you just said, because you could not go in there. You could have the best build, the sickest
You can't
weapons.
solo
It
escalation
didn't
protocol.
matter if you didn't have other guardians. You were happy to see another player in your play space, your instance, because you're like, man, we got a shot. Or how happy it was when you joined an instance and you see 4 or 5 people already in
you're
there.
like, oh, sweet, we can do this. Yeah, like, we're going. Okay, I'm going.
We're
Like,
going.
you go in and you're by yourself and you're like, oh.
Yep, I know. Oh, you got a shot. That was the beauty of that. So that idea with WoW, what you're saying, fine.
Yeah, so
Love
that kind of ties into, as they said, Cosmic Gardens. It's the other piece, and we're going to get to weapons on the director last. So he basically said it frequently seemed like Destiny was treading water in terms of moving the narrative forward. They said they wanted to tackle that in year 3, and he said that like last season. The narrative has definitely improved. We've seen eras of stories start to move forward. The pyramid ship has potential, but there's still a lot of things that are just dangling story threads out there we don't have a lot on. So they still want to keep working on that on year 4. They said the idea of building a narrative that is moving the story of your guardians, plural, all of you, forward, creating a universe where permanent change is possible and where players can have a meaningful impact is the thing we're still chasing and experimenting with. We've said before that Destiny 2 cannot keep growing indefinitely. There are lots of reasons why this is true, some technical, some creative, and because the story wants to push into new areas. On the technical side, I come back to sustainability, and this is one of those things that ties into what we're going to talk about next. As new areas, features, and event types are added to Destiny, the problems of maintenance grow accordingly for the team. New changes to the system have to be back-checked against all new areas and old ones. It introduces risk and a big burden of our teams to maintain the legacy content. The bigger this thing gets, and as detailed as their playtesting goes to make sure, is this weapon balanced everywhere? Is all of these exotics not going to break this thing? Is this mobility thing going to let you jump out? So many different things have to be tested continually. If they bring a new exotic thing again that allows the Titan to double dash, is he going to be able to break the map and get in this specific area? And they have to test every the whole damn world as it grows, and they cannot keep doing that. So the bigger it goes, the sustainability of just like maintaining everything still functioning gets harder and harder. So on the other side, he said seasons can do some heavy lifting in a sense of giving players a sense of a shared purpose of what they're going for. But when we ready expansions, it's a chance to make some more fundamental changes to the game world and its systems. Now, they said, we've done significant system changes to all Destiny games every time we've shipped an expansion. Armor 2.0, random rolls in Forsaken, Artifacts in Rise of Iron, Taken King Game Changer. Like, every time it gets different. And they say, now we're going to be making more changes to the game world as we go. So this is a prime example, and then I just want you to, like, ponder while I say this one. Currently, right now, there's a ship that can swallow planets parked outside of Nessus. You want to know what happens when they talk about changing the game world? Nessus just got swallowed. That crap is gone. You want to see the pyramid ships invade? What if every planet has crashed pyramid ships, and where those pyramid ships crash in, the Veil are around defending that ship, and then like complete sections of like the European Dead Zone and Mars have a completely different theme. They've been covered by the Veil. They're invading. Like, again, games that have done it before. Cataclysm in World of Warcraft, they literally split the continent with a crack in the earth. Like, you're talking like a continent which you could run from top to bottom, which would take you like an hour to get to the bottom if you just like trotted on your horse. They took the continent and just basically cut it in half as something came out of like the subterranean, like split it, lava, like every single zone completely changed. That's the type of thing I think they want to try and get to. So, I mean, whether pyramid ships crash down and there's invasion spots everywhere.
Blowing stuff up and erasing stuff. I'm going to call your new nickname the Eraser.
Hey, Arnold Schwarzenegger, that wasn't a terrible movie, man. But, I mean, that's the type of thing. Like, if we have the pyramid ship sitting on the moon, if that stuff comes in, I want the world to look completely different if that crap invades. Like, I want to see everything change.
Not to save you, but he wants you out of there.
Huh?
I said, rest in peace, fail safe. You know what I'm saying? On Nessus. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, fail safe? Yeah, she done.
But in E's defense, Luke Smith did say, we got too many NPCs. He did mention the NPCs running around. You know what I'm saying? So too many big cast of characters without, you know what I'm saying? So things are going to happen. And I think This theme that you're on, they seem to have listened to the last word, and they just love all this deletion talk, all this removal talk.
Hey, we're gonna we're gonna call retiring of some things because it's not full deletion, as I was saying. So it's letting things retire, and they will not be useful and powerful stuff. But that's
boy, Steve is encouraged now. He's like blowing stuff up. Oh, it's good to that way.
But I will just say, I think the idea of if they can't grow the world, I'd like to see them evolve it, and I think this is what they're going for. And honestly, I'm very, very intrigued what they might be able to do, personally, because if you take a world of any of the planets we've seen for 3 years, and they want to maintain at least Destiny 2 for maybe 1 or 2 more years, depending, the world does need to evolve, or people are still going to be looking at the same European Dead Zone patrols for the 4th year. And at some point, that's got to change.
Fair enough.
So now the big, giant topic that is the can of worms that apparently I opened last week. Didn't know it. Timing is amazing, though, because, like, Friday, we talked a little, you and I talked a little afterwards. We were still, like, and then this dropped, and I was reading through it. I texted this man 4 times while I was reading it. 4 times. So I'm going to go back up to Luke Smith's interlude before we even get into it.
The pain.
I want to read this one verbatim.
He's definitely putting the knife to me slow right now. He's twisted, y'all. You see this? This is evil about this. Continue.
Okay, so up in the season, Saki had an interlude. He's like, want to do weapon stuff now? He's like, there's more later, but let's turn the waters a little bit. He said, I still really like playing this game. I've acquired almost every weapon in the game. Why Anarchy? Apparently he's still missing that one.
Yeah, good,
I have some pretty slick rolls on a few of them, and some near-miss, internet-approved god rolls on others, which I love that he said that. Spare rations, rapid hit kill clip, full bore with a quick visit to Disappointment Town with Alloy Mag.
Awesome.
Like many of you, I end up gravitating to a few weapons and just using them instead of everything else. Sure, Outlaw multi-kill clip Breach Right from Season of Dawn is nice to have, and I love the art for Season of Dawn, but is it really going to replace my go-to PvE kinetic weapon? Probably not. I know that. I recently sat down with a couple of external folks who love Breakneck. They said it's the only thing they use. They aren't ever going to use another primary in Destiny 2. Why? Because they don't need to. Part of aspiration is the pursuit that comes with it, and right now, the way we are and have been treating weapons in Destiny 2 isn't actually fueling the aspiration engine. So that ties into this big topic of weapons. Weapons forever, the problem.
You might as well continue on.
I'm going. I'm just going to open the can of worms. Do you want me to just TLDR this thing? Or you want me to kind of hit the high?
Yeah, hit the highs. All
right. He's like, I was like, weapons right now, basically, every weapon from Destiny 2 Vanilla, every weapon you get is a weapon you can keep infusing and raise its power level indefinitely. In Destiny 2 with Infusion, it's like having every card you own in Magic available and playing on all formats forever. It passively creates power creep, an ongoing Destiny problem, which also means our teams, and this is one thing I didn't even think about last time, need to spend more and more of their time retesting and supporting old stuff instead of making new stuff. It reduces player desire for new items. It means we ultimately create a ton of gear that doesn't have any value beyond ticking the box, I got it, on the checklist. See, that isn't value. It's actually the opposite of value because it's work that we could be putting into making new stuff or improving old stuff. Our combat team
be a whole bunch of new stuff with all this.
Our combat team works extremely hard, and this is one thing. It's here in a little bit later that, like, last time when we talked about it, you absolutely nailed this one. Our combat team works extremely hard to make weapons feel unique. Each legendary gets their own flavors and special sauce.
My side.
Sometimes it's the way a gun sounds. And I mentioned it last time. Like, for me, when I picked up a Scathelocke and I fired it first time, I was like, that gun is exactly what I thought it should be. It sounded right. It fit the theme of the weapon, slightly military, not crazy in the future. It just sounded like that gun. Sometimes it's insanely over budget range stat. I don't know what he is talking about with hand in hand. Do you?
I don't know.
Is that like a gun or old thing? I don't remember. Sometimes it's the real recoil pattern. Shout out to Fallout and shotguns because that's always RNG. Yeah. Sometimes it's the art. Like Bastion is beautiful.
Oh, it's a beautiful gun. Oh, it's sexy.
Like, there are so many. Like, I mean, you take Outbreak Perfected,
Mm-hmm.
Whisper. I mean, there are
Oh,
so many iconic weapons.
mhm.
They're like the art on some of these, they're amazing. And
Right.
sometimes
This
it's
is
something
by this
indescribable.
paragraph. This is B. That this paragraph right here.
Oh,
This
there's
was
more.
by
Don't
paragraph.
worry. He mentions it a
Mhm.
little bit more later too. And he said sometimes it's something indescribable that just makes an item resonant with our players. And that is true. Like, for me, and this is where I fall into the category of not desiring as much new stuff, because I
Mhm.
do. I have, and as you said, I have this attachment to my Go figure, and a
Right.
blast furnace is technically a better gun. I've used it, and if
Right.
it had the role I wanted, it would probably be better. But because, like, I have been through so much, I have so many kills, and I know myself how it shoots. I know
Mm-hmm.
how it feels. I know what I've done with it. It's like my old reliable, and instead of trying that new thing that even might be the same, if not better,
Right.
I'm still going to fall back on my old reliable, and quite a few people may do the same. Now, not everybody,
Right.
but generally that's one of those. It's like you do get attached to some of the weapons,
Absolutely.
for
Absolutely.
sure.
I just want to reemphasize. I know this is your. I want to reemphasize one again. My whole thing with. I know you were making comparisons last week to World of Warcraft, what they do, and in reference to the needing to retire. Right. All I was saying is these other games, because Bungie are masters of gunplay, because Bungie are masters of ornaments and artwork and feel and sound, right? That's why the level of attachment is greater than any other game because they have the best. I'm just gonna say it. They got the best gunplay in the game. In my opinion, nothing feels better. So when you couple that with these beautifully designed weapons, right? That's where that ridiculous, insane attachment starts.
Mm-hmm.
That's my thing. That's my thing. Now, where I will say, if you remember, if you listen back to last word, the full last word, right? I said I could meet you with a compromise on season one, the Better Devil stuff, the nameless midnight stuff. I get that at some point the loot pool becomes too big, right? You got to worry about. I get that part. Where I was emphatic, if you remember, was when we talked about Celeste
Oh, I know. You said
with
exotics.
those, and we're gonna get to that. So this was a weird job because on one hand, I'm
Director's
like,
cut.
damn, they listened to E. I'm finished. And then I said, oh man, I gotta come in and eat this. This is gonna be awful. But then when I saw the exotics, I'm like, oh, win-win. We both get what we want.
Mm-hmm.
So I can go with my head up high. Because I thought literally when I saw your initial text and what was highlighted, oh, literally, I'll be brutally honest. I was like, yo, Destiny might be the push. I was I was seriously not knowing me, I
Yeah.
would have just had, I'd have been kicking and scratching. But
You've been butthurt for a little while.
I'd have been butthurt. I would have had to get out of my feelings and log back in. Something cool happened, and then the love started. But when they said exotic, that meant, because again, you can't, like I said last week, disrespect player engagement. Whisper of the Worm quest, what that did for the community. Outbreak props. Dude, one of my Destiny dudes that I haven't even met in real life, he's here at PAX. I'm going to meet him this week, right? The dude showed up. He's like, I said, yo, where you at? He's like, yo, I didn't see you today, whatever. Your man had a Trevor shirt. Like, I knew
Nice.
exactly what
Oh
I'm like.
yeah.
These
Yep.
are those moments, those things you never forget that connect to the weapon you put in the blood. So for them to say you were going to take that away, I wasn't. It literally would be like, yo, why am I playing your game? Because if you're going to give me these great moments just to say, hey, it's mine, no more now, go do something else now. No, I'm not doing something else. Baby, go blood and sweat and tears for this. So that's where it was really the exact. If you remember, the loudest I got was
I know.
Telesto and Whisper. It hurt.
I
But
don't know
listen,
why
if you're talking about getting
Telesto, like, you didn't go through blood, sweat, and tears to get Telesto.
I didn't. But the thing about it, I was thinking about the guy who's like me, who's like, yo, I love the weapon. I need the catalyst. And remember those two weapons, that weapon in particular, Celestial and Sleeper,
Oh
force
yeah,
you to
those are
do
brutal
a
catalysts.
terrible raid. They force you to do two terrible raids to get a BS average. But if you love that gun, you're like, the potential of this gun could be so much better if I do this. So let me grind it out. Dude, I am still, for the record, in Fire of Stars LFGs, just so I can try to get the sleeper simulate catalyst. That's how much I love sleeper simulate. Even though it's nerfed to hell, I want the
Yeah.
best version of
Anyway,
it. But anyway,
but
I'm
yeah,
done with my rant.
no, we kind of jumped through this topic pretty fast, but he even said it too. He's like, I played MMOs, I played action RPGs where you get amazing weapons, and that's the thing. But he stated it's like, rarely do those weapons feel like an extension of my avatar. And that's what you described, like that connection to the weapon, because you are looking down it the entire time. That is, you live through your weapons. Mm-hmm. And it's like, you get an attachment to, like, in Bloodborne, your switch axe, or in Sekiro, your katana is part of you.
Yeah.
As opposed to a stat stick, as he called something, probably from World of Warcraft, because it's like, yeah, I put it on my character and it has the best stats, but I'm not really paying attention to the fact that it's a slightly different looking stick. Like, right. That's the difference. Is like, we do live and breathe through these things, and that's where they get important. Mm-hmm. So he goes back to a little bit of saying, and this is where I'm going to bring it around, the weapons from Vault of Glass could be powerful, unique, and rare. And those were some of the most, like, wildly sought after things. If you had Fatebringer, you probably had a bunch of Ascendant shards to commemorate all the times you didn't get it, and all those times you celebrated or hated when somebody else got it. But when you finally got that thing, it mattered. Right. But there was space in the loot pool. They knew things weren't going to last forever, so if they built this thing that was, like, capped at level 30, then when you went to go to the next thing, well, I got to get something new to be more powerful. And they knew that stuff would not live in trials and live in these things for the forever. There was a window on those. There was an expiration date, per se, where it wouldn't continue to be there.
Right.
And they said, currently in the version of Destiny, it's hard to find space for some new stuff. We have so many. We're 3 years into this game. We're looking at 4, maybe 5. Who knows how long this thing could be going. And at some point, how long do you want to be able to use your Midnight Coup in the newest raid?
Absolutely.
And I've been, like, commenting on Twitter just to, like, spark fires. I posted a video about the director's cut today. My video comments, they are probably 3/4 just ripping that idea to shreds. They seriously are. I mean, there are a lot of people that, like, why should I even play the game? If my thing has an expiration, should I even grind for anything?
Mm-hmm. And I remember, I'm the reasonable one. I'm the one that says, hey, if I compromise...
Just keep your exotics, right?
Yeah. I know there are some people that are like, hell no, I better... Like, I feel sorry, though, for the Leviathan dudes. Midnight Cool, Inaugural Address.
Those have been... Yeah. And that's the question I keep continually asking everybody. I asked it last week. Mm-hmm. And the general thing is... And some people just be like, I want to use my gun forever. Well, guess what? It's probably not going to happen. But my general idea is, like, how long do you want to keep playing Destiny 2 and still be like, yep, Midnight Coup?
Yeah.
At one point, do you like, how long is that point where you're like, I should probably not be able to use that anymore? Now, if you say always, then you're just going to have to swallow this one because it's apparently going to hurt.
Right.
But on the other side, if they saturate the loot pool so much that for them to be able to try and design another weapon, and they do their best to make these things unique.
Right.
They spend the time to make a unique sound, a firing rate, an animation. Right. But how many more things? I mean, Bungie works to make unique things, but how many times can you stack another 900 auto rifle, another 150 hand cannon, and try and make it worth your grind, worth the difference? If you always have, like, well, I've got a good 150, I'm just going to pull that.
Right.
And I can infuse that.
I completely get the mindset. All I want to say, the last point to the argument last was that you're right. From a pure technical standpoint, I understand that. The thing comes down to, in my opinion, if Bungie, let's put it this way, in a perfect world, if Bungie was still with Activision, High Moon, blah, 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 we have D3 right now. I'm firmly believing Now, because that situation changed, that's why we're in this position now. We're basically, it's again, we're not getting deep leaks anytime soon. So as a result, the way the annual pass structure and the introducing of new loot and no new game, that's why we're here. They realize every season, right? To your point, they add new guns. Is it really going? If they add a new post, is it really going to be better than Dad Bod? You know what I'm saying? Buy guns or Dad Bod. At some point, you have too many similar archetypes, and you're just going to resort back. Like, everything you're saying is right. The reason why it's jarring is because this length of time should have now been the D3 part where we would have blown up or whatever it may be, and then we wouldn't have the painful move. No one was expecting this painful move because this is right around new game time. So now, for new game, this is the new way, right? Now, the question I have for you is the time allowed. Now, from my understanding, they were saying what, 9
to 15 months. That's what he said.
Okay, so let's break that down, because my thing is now, it's like stale milk. Everything got an expiration date according to the Ebontis plan, right? So do I log
Not mine,
in?
it's his.
That's
Luke
right. Luke
Smith's plan.
You've got Luke on speed dial. I apologize. He listens to the last book.
If I do, I will, next time I'm with you, I'll call him just so you can say hello.
Clearly, you went to a Bungie summit that I wasn't aware of.
100% secret, never told you.
And bro, you have to
There's
admit,
so much sarcasm for you audio listeners, by the way. You have no idea.
you have to admit, I have to admit, this is probably the funniest loss of an argument I've had with one thing, because literally the next week, the man is like, yo, everything he about to say, we're doing.
And you're just like, dude, what?
Everything you was crying about, we're listening to about from now on. It's the Twab. This week at Bungie Ebontis.
I'm going to sign the TWAB next to Cosmo. I'm going to look over it and put my part. Yeah, no.
I woke up, I said, what the hell is going on? Why are they doing this to me? So anyway, my question to you, jokes aside, how do you handle the expert? Do I get my legendary, since you're the game designer, do I, when I get the gun, does it have like a, due date by when it goes out of season? Like, how does
just like, that's going to probably, my guess is they have to plan out the power climb. Now, the way the seasons work right now, the 10-10-10 whole thing, I'm kind of hoping that changes in year 4 as well, because I think that's something they're probably thinking about, because the way it works right now, the Pinnacle grind is honestly a 3-month and especially them taking away the artifact for PvP-enabled trials, that's even more meh. So I'm hoping that changes to either a bigger number, something different going forward. But honestly, if they can plan that out and kind of agree on it, I would say you wouldn't see a date. You would probably say it might, as you hover over Infusion, it might have a little tooltip saying max Infusion 1100, something like that. That would be my guess.
I got to attack this talk. He covered it.
Who?
To the letter of the Lord. Yeah, Aries, sorry. No one is disagreeing with you that, yes, technically you can still do it. It's basically not going to be able to be infused. So, yes, they do exist, right? But let's be real here. This was the same thing like Icebreaker back in the day when they wouldn't let you infuse it because they knew the gun was powerful. But guess what people did? They stood there and they jumped into certain activities, right? And still tried to use those old school guns that was overpowered for certain situations just to try to get by. So that you have to understand the Destiny community is creative. Now, granted, for pinnacle activities, it's not gonna. You're gonna get murdered.
Well, that's why, especially if it's that 9 to 12 months, you'll have an expansion. That expansion has to have like a 203 power level, 200 or 300 level power level jump.
Yes.
So that delta of 100 is far blown away. So, like, if you take that into the new stuff, you are definitely going in at a massive detriment that you're not going to do much. They have to set the expansion and that level jump far enough and big enough that that's you can't even try. Right. Can you go run around on patrols? Can you go in a basic quick play match? Sure.
Sure. But when it comes down to the Nightfall ordeal, absolutely
the dungeons, the raids, the new content, correct.
Smoke. And in that sense, it's gone. You know what I'm saying? So I do understand. I just wanted to be clear about that as far as things. Continue. So you were saying you would still have a date on it, like, or you would say
I
like,
wouldn't have a date, but if they can figure out like maybe 1 or 2 years, however long Destiny 2 is going to last, and be like, okay, so for year 4, it's 50, 50, 50, and say when September comes out, what are we going to be up to? Because this one we're going 970, 980. Is that right? And it'll be 980, 990. So then we'd be touching near 1,000. Then September needs to be like 1,250.
Yeah.
You need to go.
Yeah.
You need to go like 200 some odd power levels up. So if you try and take that into like current content, you are going to be shooting peanuts. Like it needs to be enough to where you're like, I'm not hitting them. Oh, I can't hit them. That's why.
But shout out to Outstanding. He said he wonders what this means for ritual weapons. They can put the expiration on. they can set the on that crap. But I cannot stand the ones that they gave us. Python, Komodo, those 3.
Yeah. I mean, that's kind of the thing. You think now of what you got in like the Vex offensive weapons. Probably not going to be infused in September. But right now you're looking at 9 months. Maybe your Dawn stuff will carry into September, but maybe that's it for that season. I mean, I would probably count on roughly a year. That would be my hunch. The 9 months is where you picture Season of Dawn to an expansion. When that expansion comes, we out. We going next. But that 3 months, but that 3 months before, you can't nullify that. So the next season, depending, they're trying not to nullify it too quickly.
Right, but the question
I would be okay with it, but again, no.
I think this is a wrap. I think Recluse is getting stale milk.
Well, yeah. No, I mean, I think all of those are going to be old. Yeah, they're all going.
Yeah. Well,
so Pinnacle, Mountaintop, Recluse, all that stuff is so old, it's going to be outside of a year. Pinnacles aren't going to be in raids. You're not going to have Pinnacle. You're not going to have Recluse in raids. No Mountaintops, and that will change all those strategies. And that's the thing they said. It is only legendaries right now. They may do this later on with exotics.
I know. I'm. Don't get me.
I was like, you may as well start getting ready to swallow that one about 3 years from now.
This is, you know how like your parents when they try to force you to take your medicine and you say no, and then like they try to sneak it in your food. This is the slow easing into. Oh, it's going to happen. Again,
picture like at some point, Whisper gets retired.
Oh,
now
God.
I have more attachment to that gun than most of you guys. Do you have any idea how much time I spent in that mission? Now this is why. Take heavy sniper rifles. You have Darcy, you have Whisper, and Izanagi doesn't count, but it may as well. But those 2 heavy snipers, can they make another heavy sniper right now?
We're gonna fight. I'm trying not to fight.
Again, as they keep making weapons with perks and exotics, and it keeps being saturated, take a weapon type. Pick one specific one. How many different ways can you make variety? And again, if Whisper fades away, like going into year 5, you could get the quest, but that gun has a lifespan of like 3.5 years. It had a great run.
We doing 9 and 15 month exotic.
At some point, I could see it.
Yo, Luke Smith, stop listening to this podcast. Stop listening to this. Are you? Look, I'm trying to get over torture that you put me through.
Hey, exotics aren't happening right now. You can enjoy them for as long as you can.
Sitting here spreading your evil corruption to bunch. You know they listed, and now you coming for my How dare you? How dare you? No. Hashtag save the guns. Come on, y'all. Y'all put exotics out of here? This is what we're doing?
I am saying eventually it will probably happen so they can continue to make new exotics.
So what is the point of the quest exotics then?
You had it for 3 years.
What you mean you had it? You made me bleed for it. You made me go through hoops. You made me do all this stuff. You made me fight Trevor. You made me do things in time.
And how long did you get to enjoy that thing?
Catalyst, and you got the nerve to say, oh, we're tired of
Thank you,
this.
Harperion. Nothing lasts forever.
So why play the game? Why play the game if every year you're gonna press the delete button? What is the value? Oh, don't get.
Thank you, Aries, by the way. Aries is like fighting for me in chat, man. This is amazing.
Bruh.
No, okay, no. Say exotics. Say exotics have
exotics.
like 2 or. It depends on how long Destiny lasts. Now, if Destiny ends at year 4 and year 5, honestly, probably they won't mess with. If it's year 4 and they're like, all right, we got D3 coming out 2022. We got 1 more year. We got to get through seasons. Probably not. If Destiny 2 is truly where they have, if they completely do a game changer and Destiny 2 is like they take Destiny 3 and shove it into Destiny 2, then I see the exotics being like retired, sunset.
Awful idea. Awful. Yeah, that is going to be the camel back right there. Y'all getting away with this legendary right now, but I'm telling you right now, y'all pulling that. Could you imagine? Let me paint a picture. You psychopaths.
I've been through whatever you're about to whip up. I've already done it.
Playing D1 and the legend of the gallery. All you heard about, the legend of the gallery.
This literally happened in Taken King.
Literally. Now, you got to happen because it's coming out.
Destiny 1, year 1, Galahorn is released like a few weeks before from Xur. People buy it, and then you go into Taken King, and you can't take it forward.
New game came out. And you imagine you just get this magic that everyone says, oh my God, finally. And then next week, guys, this is the cutoff.
Yes. That is how that goes.
What do you mean, no? That's how WoW goes. This ain't WoW, bro.
That is how an evolving game continues to be fresh and involved.
A gun game. We realize this, right?
Yes,
we
I'm fully aware.
Guns in this game. That's what we do.
I've been running around poking people with my fingers for 5 years.
Oh my God.
It's my fist at this point. I've been fisting people for 5 years. That sounds a lot worse than I thought it would.
Yeah, how about that? What I was saying, every what I was saying.
There was like when Infusion didn't get started. That's exactly what happened. You got it in the last 3 weeks. 3 weeks later, Taken King.
Hold on. I gotta get at the chat. I'm attacking the chat. WD Prescott. This is not Borderlands. Stop comparing. No, listen, Borderlands. That's cute. That's cute. I understand. They have variety. It's a loot game. But let's be real. I should say. This is preference. And I don't want to disrespect preference. If you like Borderlands, good for you. Guess what? Let's just talk about engagement. How many people are still engaging with Borderlands the way they're engaging? There's a reason, because you have the emotional attachment to the gun. You have it. I can't name, or I don't see people naming these even other games that try to do exotic real. Division, Anthem, they don't do exotic.
Okay, then let me ask you this the other side.
Nobody does exotics how Destiny do exotic. Any team could try to bite the formula, but it's never replicated to this level of emotional attachment. Stop your nonsense. Stop comparing them to other games that don't have the greatest gunplay that Destiny has. That's why people are remote. You see the message boards. You see how crazy. Do that exotic thing. Do that exotic thing with y'all. What? You think it's bad with me? You wait till you see the message. Wait till you see Reddit. Wait till you see Reddit when y'all hit the button. Like, all right, bye, Whisper.
Okay, so let me ask you this. Exotics can come forward, but the Leviathan leaves the solar system. You can't go get your catalyst now.
Make it a
that is moving.
They did that right now with
Graviton
Lance. Graviton Lance.
But you move the narrative forward. I'm saying.
Yeah, but they didn't get rid of Graviton Lance. I can still get the catalyst.
You can still use the gun in basic stuff. You just can't use it in pinnacle stuff. You actually get like, you get it better than like most other games that like you level up, you get an expansion, you're more powerful than your old stuff, you don't use it anymore. You can still use it in your basic events. I can go pull my Whisper out for 17 years apparently in a patrol.
What's the percentage of exotic?
There's a lot of them at this point.
How many? Why can't we rework exotic? Why can't we sit there and say, you know what?
Why rework an exotic when you can make a new one?
But for what? There's nothing wrong with it. At the end of the day,
would you rather be like, hey, this thing that was in my inventory, in my collections, I'm sorry, because you're not keeping them in your vault, that's been there for 2 years. Oh, it got reworked. Hey, this thing got retired. I'm not really going to pull it anymore, but I got this new drop. Which is better?
What's the value of chasing exotics if they're only to go away in a year?
Maybe they have a longer lifespan. Maybe they're twice as long.
Who is going to want to grind catalyst and hard content and raid?
Because you can use it for 2 years. Because you can use it for 2 years. And then there's a point. Guess what? That exotic you've had for 2 years isn't coming with you into the next raid because it's just seen some work and it's finally busted. It finally got used too much.
Player engagement.
No, I'm not.
We're disrespecting player engagement.
See, this is the point. When you talk about respect, it is not respect.
The best things in the game. Best things in the game. You want me to grind? You want me to go jump through fire? Oh, but you're going to take this away? Keep that up, Bungie. Keep that up. Watch what happens. Trust me. That's a death blow. Y'all can say all this cute, loophole stuff all you want. In this game, where guns matter and the artwork and the design and the feel of these guns are the best in gaming, this is your trump card of why your game is successful. You are now going to take that away and disrespect player engagement? Bruh, watch what happens to this. I'm telling you, that's the death blow. You keep that up. We'll see. Well, I'll watch Reddit. Because right now, they're flaming y'all now. I'm the one actually defending you, Psycho. They're flaming you guys. If you look at the board, you look at social media, do y'all realize what's Reddit? Go check it out. See what's going on out there. You'll see. And I'm halfway with y'all. Exotics is like, bruh, it'll be hard to log in. I'm finished right away. I thought I was good, but you got me going. You got, Luke's please.
It's gonna happen. The length of Destiny 2 will determine if exotics happen. If it's 4 years in okay, so if you get D3, none of it matters. All this stuff I played for 4 years, I invested thousands of hours to get this catalyst. Yes, D3, all gone.
You're giving me a new game. You give me better graphics, dedicated servers, whole new player engagement, cross-play. You're giving me something. If you're going to take from the player, you have to give something back. It's only right. It's an exchange. You want a player to play your game.
That is an entitled mentality.
But I'm paying you to play your live game. I'm paying
a live service game. You said it right there. That's all you had to say. A live.
Every month you come to me with your handout for $10. Every September you come with your handout for $30. Yep. And then you say for your $30 that I paid, you're taking my guns away that I paid.
Yep.
Bruh. No.
100%.
No, Ares. No. Sorry.
They want to give you new guns.
I pay for that gun. Why I can't keep it?
Because it doesn't work anymore. Because it doesn't work you still have it. So you still have it, but it's not powerful enough.
You go to the gun store and he comes to your house with stuff. I want to see your face when someone comes in your house and say, "Yo, it's over."
This is a video. Don't even try that. This is a video game. That doesn't even compare. Have a real argument. This is the point, and you said it, and that was the perfect word, and I'm glad you did. It is a live service game. You have a subscription to Game Pass.
That I'm paying for.
Oh, they just took a game away.
Okay.
Same thing.
But here's the difference. You know that when their Game Pass is out, I can keep it. I have the option to keep it. That's the difference.
Netflix.
If it goes out the server, I can keep the game. I can't. You're telling me it's not me no more.
Okay, well, what about Netflix? It's a live. The thing Anybody who has an issue with this argument, the idea is the game wants to evolve. Bungie wants to continue to evolve this. And if we keep hanging on to shit, and I'm going to say it now because it's after about 11 o'clock at night. If you guys want to keep hanging on to shit that is 4 years old and has been through 1,000 bullets.
Who made someone go through hoops for anything in Netflix? Who made anyone go through hoops? So it's not apples to apples.
Picture any, not even world, picture any subscription type thing, any subscription MMO.
But it's not, what are you working hard to accomplish by watching your Netflix movie that's going away? Nothing.
I'm trying to give you live service. I'm trying to give you live service examples of things that do not last forever. Nothing lasts forever.
Mm-hmm. But the point is there's a difference between those live services, and again, there's no work involved to obtaining. It's not like when you launch Destiny, the exotics jump out the screen. It's not like there's new movies, you have all the exotics. You have to earn it. There's no earning in Netflix. There's earning.
Okay, fine. Take the Netflix away. I'm still going to go back to, you're telling me you don't have to earn anything in a game like World of Warcraft.
That's the game you're using because that's the game that actually.
No, but I'm just saying, if you want to talk about something with a time investment, something you have to earn, something that is valuable to your character. Now, it may have been a 2-year cycle, so take your exotics on the same thing. When a massive expansion came out and a rift cracked in the middle of the world, and now you can go from level 60 to level 70 or level 70 to level 80, that amazing stuff that you spent hours and hours, and literally I had 40 days on characters of raiding, that stuff at level 70, when you hit level 71, you just literally got better stuff, and that old stuff, then how can you understand that? And not get on board with the other. It's the same principle.
Again, it goes back to what I said. What makes Destiny great?
But you can't keep living in the past. You can't keep living on past guns forever.
Collection of guns.
Okay, here. I'm just gonna ask you this right now. Destiny now is gonna last 20 years long. Do you want to be able to pull Whisper out in the year 20 raid? How far do I have to set this? Okay, but at some point
we'll have a new game.
No. This is going to stick with this argument because this is how long. If Destiny 2 D3 doesn't exist, it is going to be shoved into Destiny 2, and Destiny 3 is going to be Destiny 2.
That's where we at now.
So Destiny 2 is going to last for the next 6 years.
Right. That's where we at now.
Year 6, that raid. Whisper should still be allowed to come to that raid at full power.
By year 6, you should be thinking about a new game now.
What if they evolve Destiny 2 and they get crossplay, if they switch, start moving solar system planets, Leviathan eats Nessus, we get Saturn. All of those things evolve, and you're telling me Whisper should still come to that next raid. I'm trying to find.
Let me tell you why that can't happen. Based on the technical limitations of what they just said right now, they're at almost, I'm going to say they're at capacity, but they're at a point where they can't keep adding things all the time. They've already said that. That's the
I'm saying take that argument and set it aside. Say this is...
Because that's the reason why it just can't, in your live service game, this evolving world, right, where you're adding, you're doing new things, and things are evolving, there's a ceiling. There's a limit to how much you can add before you reach max capacity, which then goes
then
back.
Then take that statement and apply it to the weapons.
Well, because at that point, why not do the whole group thing together, right? We're at max capacity with the weapon. We're at saturation with the loot pool. To your argument, right? Saturation now. Everything is too much. Too many whiskers running around. 5 snipers going around. I get what you're saying.
Do you?
All I'm saying is this is a unique situation because they have to extend a little bit longer. That's what getting it. I get it. I'm accepting that, right? But the next 6, bro, I want a new game. You can't keep feeding me this old game.
But here's the take the technical piece out of it for a second. Remove that and just imagine they actually are capable. Imagine they find a way to take the ideas they want for D3. The pyramid ships come in, Saturn is a new thing, Nessus gets swallowed by Leviathan, and Callus drives away. So you got a new planet that. I'm literally just throwing shit out there because it could evolve. Right. You have Mars, Rasputin, blows up, what's another planet? I can't think. Rasputin blows up Io.
Right.
Okay, well, now we have access. We're reaching a little farther. One of Saturn's moons, we're going to Europa. So the
Right.
director keeps evolving.
Mhm.
This is something they potentially could do. I'm not saying this is what's going to happen. I'm trying to get to the end of this timeline for you.
Mhm.
They continue to do this in D3, and they're phasing out the legendaries, but these exotics, they're still sitting there.
Mhm.
We're on
Right.
year 6, and in year 6, this raid comes out, and snipers are in a pretty good spot. You want to still be able to go, you pull your literal year 1, Whisper of the Worm, and take it into the year 6 raid.
There's still flaws in this argument. I don't anticipate the game for that long.
I said set that aside, because your argument is you want exotics to last until D3.
No, listen, I do, right? I do. My thing is, again, between anyone who's in the chat, pull up the year that D1 came out and pull up the year when D2 came out. Let's get the year.
There's 2014, 2017.
How many years is that?
It's 3.
Okay, we've reached a common ground now. This is what I'm talking about.
No, okay, I'm saying I understand the time window. I'm saying take that aside. They are by themselves. They do not have Activision. They may not.
I get
what
it.
if they?
I'm with you.
So then, what if their capacity is not Destiny 3? What if their capacity is to evolve Destiny 2?
By themselves, right? With this bandwidth, with the thing, right? I'm saying we can go 4 to 5, right? 4 to 5, we could go. You know what I'm saying? I'm with you on that. And then you got to do the cover, too saturated. You can't create the what. I'm with you with that. All I'm saying, but at 4 to 5, we better start announcing a new game. That's all I'm saying. Why can't I have a new game at that?
That's not my argument. You are stepping away from my question. I keep asking you. Technical limitations of another game aside, within Destiny 2, how long do exotics last? What is your number? Is it 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, 20 years? Is there a number?
To me, it's not a static question like that. It's really I can't give you a static answer to a year on when I should exotic. I can't give you that because my whole answer with exotics is tied to the next game. That's why I can't give you a static answer.
And that's why I keep asking you, what if there wasn't one?
To me,
I know you want one. I know everybody who is out there expects D3 at some point. But I'm trying to get this point through your head. There is no D3, how far does this...
Stop that.
Stop saying that.
There's not going to be a D3. We're going to play the same game forever for 7 years? We're going to play D2 to 2022? What do you think is really? You think that's going to happen? Really?
What if they're capable of evolving it?
I'm not buying that. I'm not buying that at all. We could play this old little sponge game that you playing. We not playing that. No. You're acting like this is like some small little indie team of developers. Are you kidding? You know how many people are playing
the whiteboard said year 4, year 5, year 6, year 7. It did not say year 4, D3.
Right now, because they just separate.
But we're talking about year 7 of Destiny 2. What if it actually lasted that long?
Oh, let's keep the exotics and then let's go. Let's rock with it.
You're going 7 years on Whisper of the Worm.
Yes.
Then, okay, that's...
Okay. Yes, I'm on that. Don't get rid of it. That's the most valuable thing.
But you're telling me at some point an exotic shouldn't be retired in 7 years?
Yes. No retirement of exotics. That is tied to that title.
That was the question I was trying to ask you 10 minutes ago. At least I know where you stand.
When they retired Galahorn, if the D2 started, then you could do your retiring. That is the most valuable piece of content in the game. No, you're not doing that. I'm sorry. I'm fighting on that. I'm dying on that thing. I'm dying on that one. Sorry.
At some point, that gets old.
Oh, y'all, exotics is the most valuable thing in Destiny, in my opinion. That's just me. Maybe everyone else agrees with you.
Bunchy, if you guys listen to this, can we interview one of you guys? I would love to know some questions. Anyways,
Mhm.
I finally got my answer. So if you would have
got
listened
your
to my
answer.
question, we could have moved on, but you wouldn't answer my question. That's what I kept trying to ask you for like 15 minutes, and you wouldn't answer me.
But all jokes aside, it's not
And I
realistic.
literally started that whole question with, hey, this probably isn't going to happen. But if it
So then
did,
why are we
that
even
was
talking?
because it's a hypothetical trying to figure out how long you want to hold on to this old crap. And you finally
But
gave me an answer.
until your answer, it's really not a static answer. That's what I'm trying to say. It's really, it wasn't like I could give you like, okay, 5, 6. It's really not. It doesn't work that way because again,
But
it's
but if they want to make it a continually evolving, their literal mission statement at Bungie is to make
Right.
this an ever evolving living
Right.
world. If that living world still has a 2 on it 4 more years from now,
Okay.
Whisper still is there.
Yeah. Why? See, we're not going to paint this narrative that Whisper is holding the game back when you got all these zillions of
Whisper,
legendaries
Telesto,
in a
Outbreak, Prime,
wheel.
all of those that
You
have been in
got
the game.
all these zillions of guns in a legendary loop that you're taking and retiring. There's your answer. That means that there's guns in that archetype that's going out. So if those are going out, why we got to destroy the exotic? Let's stop that. Why the exotics got to go? If they're this small percentage in each archetype, right? There's no, you're getting the majority of the guns already. You've already won, E. You're getting the majority of the guns in the game. That's the majority. Do the percentages. Exotics are not the majority in the game. And they're rare. And they're hard to get. And you're making me work for them. That's my point. I'm dying on that one. I don't care how long it is. You can't do that. That's just my opinion of how I feel about the game. And there are many that feel as strongly as I do. Get Twitter, or get Reddit. I'm just telling you that. I'm not alone on this. I know the chat, y'all think I'm crazy. Oh, old man dies with his exotics. Fine, I'll be that dude. I'll be the dude. I'll take one for the exotic. Team exotic.
But I guess at some point, does it not feel like there's a refreshment required?
No, it feels amazing when I look at that Whisper of the World. I know what I did. I know the date I did it. It was like the date.
It's not like you have to have it in the game to remember everything you did with it. You know you lived it. Unless your memory sucks, you know you did it.
But why you have to take it away? Why are you coming in like the Willow Man?
Because it's like 3 and 4 years. It's because it's 3 and 4 years old, and we're going on to other planets.
You don't have that emotional attachment. But for me and a
bullshit
lot of
on Whisper of the Worm, do I not have emotional attachment? You can kiss my royal ass right now.
Because you know what happened? My attachment. When I watched your video, you made that amazing. What's going to happen? I'm going to kill you right now. What about your blood, sweat, and tears for your video that you made, giving people, rookies, and all the people that had no confidence to get that gun, making those jumps, all your videos are for nothing. You can delete your YouTube channel. What's the purpose of having a YouTube channel? What's the purpose of being a content creator that you have with all these people, make these exotics, do these quests, and then they don't exist no more? That kills they're killing their own community if they do that.
No, they're not.
Yes, they are.
No YouTube video, you expect to have a lot of views 2 years later, much less you're talking about 7. No way do I expect a YouTube video 7 years from now and people are like, hey, I want to go get my exotic from year 1 Destiny. Hey, Abontis has this video from 7 years ago.
Now 7 is excessive. 7 is excessive.
And that's why I asked you that.
Year 3, bro, people still going to want to know how to do these things.
And I didn't say 2 or 3. I'm trying to make it extreme to make you pick a number, but you're cool with it being there for 7. That was why you're going to sit here and like contradict yourself on like, well, 7's like kind of ridiculous. But you just said you would take it for 7.
No, I would. That's me personally. I would. As long as it sounds, I would.
Yeah, I literally made the content because it's relevant at the time. I'm not going to go make content on like...
The value of your content being devalued, and there's no reason for it. After
literally the point.
Okay, no problem with that. Yeah, you're a better man than me.
Every YouTube person that puts content out there is devalued the minute it's out there. Are you telling me your Iron Lords podcast from 6 months ago have the value that they do right now?
That is not an instructional guide. You can't make the app.
It's time relevant content. What? Zur is null and void every single week. Every Zur video is null and void in 4 days.
Comparing Zur videos to how to obtain exotics. Is we really doing this?
Hybrid just said the same thing I did. My Tuesday weekly reset. My Nightfall guides are not useful a week later.
You comparing that to getting Whisper the Worm.
It's the
You're
same
comparing.
principle.
It's not the same. It's not apples to apples. It's
A
not.
Nightfall.
No, it's not.
You want to know how much time I put into some of those Nightfall guides? Probably about the same amount of time I put into that Whisper.
Okay.
Okay, so that Whisper had traction.
It's just a different mindset with it. And I know
my YouTube content doesn't live forever. I'm fully aware. If my YouTube content lived forever, my views would forever go up.
Honestly, real talk. Do you honestly, in your heart, think your Whisper video has the same exact value as your in your heart, man? To a man, come on.
Right now, my Zerv videos get more than my Whisper video.
Come on, you're not answering the question. To a man, with the amount of you put in your Whisper, which is
those aren't the same. But that's not the comparison. My Zerv video does not live. My Zerv video doesn't live forever, and my Whisper guide doesn't live forever.
You're not answering my question. That's not my question. The live forever is not my question. To a man, does that video of the Whisper hold more value to you than your Zerv video? Honestly.
Well, of course it does.
Thank you. Why does it?
Well, it's my biggest video of all time.
Thank you.
But it's not going to live forever. It's not going to live forever.
We're in agreement with that.
Are you? No, we're not. Because you're saying you want the exotics to live forever.
Listen to what I'm helping.
We're never going to get to the TWAB.
We're never going to get to it. I'm just trying to help you understand the mindset of a person who wants to keep the exotic, right? All I'm saying,
literally saying I don't want it to live forever, and you do.
Attachment to that video. That's all I'm saying. I remember the phone you made to me when you made the video, and you saw what it did. That's all.
Yes, and that is a memory. That's not something that lives forever.
That's not the argument, though.
Are you sure? Yes, it is.
But I'm just trying. You're focused. I'm just trying to help you understand. You're trying to die on your back, and I respect that. But you know, in your heart, what that video does. That's all the people that love exotics are saying. That's all we're trying to say. In our heart, that's what those mean to us. That's what we're saying.
I am aware of that, but that video does not have a lifespan of 7 years. That video has trickled along because a few people still go and look at it, but that video had a peak, it fell off, and it mostly was done. Now it has dribbled along.
You're a better man than me. You're better than that. You can move forward better.
What's up, Steven Tech? How you doing, man?
What's up, brother? You can do better than me in terms of letting those go. And I give you that. And all I'm saying is there's a community who feel just like me. These are the reasons in their minds they play Destiny for those moments. Destiny for a lot of people is a moment game. Where were you at when you did this? Who were you with when you did it? Yeah. That's what Destiny means to a lot of people, bro. Y'all gotta understand.
I am aware of that. I have been in those moments.
Fair enough. That's all. Look, we get it. Let's move on. We both gotta say, I get it.
Yeah, we are gonna agree to disagree because this ain't ever happened.
Yeah, we're never going to agree with that. But I just let's move on. We got stuff.
Yeah. To out Sanity's question, do I think the weapon stuff would have happened if Trials wasn't coming next season? Into some of the people that I've talked to, it's been something that's been on the back burner for a while.
Hold on. Barbarian, I get the last forever. It's not about 40. I said exotics. You can take the legendaries. I'm bending knee on that. I don't like that either.
But you're just saying something still has to last forever. Is the hill you are technically dying on is like not everything, but something lasts forever. Nothing lasts forever.
Small percentage of the game. And all I'm saying is if you take it, just give me a new game.
If you want it to last forever, go take a screenshot of that thing. Go put it as your wallpaper, just like a photograph in real life.
I'm not saying last forever. I'm saying to the new game. That's not forever. Y'all can't say that, I don't ever want them to go. Take it away when you give me a new game. That's not forever. So please don't put the word forever with me. That's not what I'm saying. Continue.
But you will still live on that whole 7 years. If Destiny lasted that long, technical separation aside, you would still keep it in there that long, and that is a long ass time.
And
So
it's clearly bothering you guys in the development of the smallest percentage of guns in the game is the development of the game. And we disagree to disagree. That's
anyway,
cool.
I believe that horse is officially dead.
Yeah.
All right. If everybody's got to shake out their eyes and ears and
you guys are deleting
loosen
baby
things
photos. Kids are grown up already. Delete those pictures. All right, I'll leave it alone.
Anyway, so we did actually get a TWAB. It was a late one because I guess they were looking over it for a while. It's posted like a couple hours ago, 2 or 3, something like that. It was not posted 4 hours ago, so it was up, but it was late. It was like 7:30, 8 o'clock my time. We have some subclass. I'm gonna let you talk for a while because I feel like I'm just like
I wore my man out. So my connection a little bit. You want me to jump right into the beat?
I feel like I need a shirt made for this argument or something.
I done annoyed this man.
I'm done. No podcast next week, guys.
Good day. I got
no podcast next week. I gotta take a week off.
Yo, E, this is the greatest.
I can't talk to this man.
We're stubborn.
I'm shutting it down. I'm shutting it down.
My man, E. All right, so let's get right.
We're at 2 hours already. Holy hell.
We're 2 hours. We're gonna fly. This was
subclass changes. Well, I'm sorry. I get to sleep. You don't. So
yeah, pretty much the dev team comes out and he says, hey, they got some combat systems. They've been hard at work. They want to talk about all the data scientists and things that they've been talking about with Crucible, for a minute, and so on and so forth. So we're going to just jump right into the right. So pretty much these are the things that they allocated their data. And they said, this is what we got to look at. So Warlocks, let's stand up, y'all, because y'all up on the dock. So Warlock melee. The Warlocks have long been at a disadvantage in melee fights. Takes them slightly longer than Titans and Hunters to recover from making a melee attack. So next season, we're extending the Warlock's basic melee range to a total of 5.5 meters. Warlocks will melee will slightly be slower than other classes, so they'll now have the 1 meter advantage. If you use this window to land the first melee attack in a slap fight, you will emerge victorious. They feel this is a more interesting solution to melee disparity than the homogenizing all of the melee attacks. We'll be studying the data as it rolls in to make sure it. Now, you want me to attack Titan barricades, or you want to talk about Warlock melee?
Go for it. Warlock melee you can talk about.
No, listen. We've been at a disadvantage for a while. I think it's a fair change. I kind of like this per se. They didn't speed it up. They're saying we're going to extend it. Now, extending is an advantage.
Yes, it is. It is an advantage.
So, that is an advantage.
If you get the first one, I don't think, my guess is like if you get the first slap by range, I don't think the time to get my second one off is going to beat you, because he literally just said if you are at the range and you land it first, you're going to win the second one if we're punching it out.
Right.
So you literally just gave Warlocks an advantage.
Now, in D1, Warlocks, I believe, had this advantage already. That's why they were initially nerfed, because they had an extended blade.
And they're giving it back?
The difference is you guys still hit faster. So if we're at the same distance, right?
Yeah, if I get the jump on you, I'm going to win. But if you get the range jump on me...
Right. But if we had the slower melee, what are we supposed to do? Just stay with the slowest melee? And that's how it's rocking?
I would rather see this be equal on melees. I don't think melees need to be like different between classes that much.
I agree. I think what the issue really is simple, and the fact that the Warlock can the way it moves with a lot of their...
It's just the animation speed.
Yeah, I think this is a technical issue that they can't solve. Because let's be real, the honest answer you just said, right? Make all the melee speeds the same.
Yeah, I mean, that's logical, but it's like the animation speed must be too long or something.
Yeah, it must be too much. So we'll see how it plays out. I'm not going to get too crazy yet. I do think, for me, obviously, I've been at a disadvantage. I prefer this, but I got to see how it plays out, if it's fair. That's all I got to see. So we got next up, you want me to get
Titan Barricades?
Yes.
So they said Titan Barricade is incredibly powerful in trials, mostly due to the resurrection of your fallen teammates. Next season, we're creating counters to the Barricade, which while also raising its health from 500 to 600 hit points. Barricades will now take extra damage from special ammo weapons, anti-barrier weapons, and certain heavy weapons. This change to make Barricades sturdier while giving opposing players options to use their special ammo to bring down barricades more quickly.
Right.
So the following weapons do 30% extra to barricades: snipers, grenade launchers, linear fusions, machine guns, traces, and anti-barrier weapons. The following do 60% extra: fusions and shotties.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to want to pop a barrier up if you want to go for a res, but if you're shooting them with peanuts, not going to really do that much. They're going to last even longer. But if you have the right weapon, you're going to be able to drop them faster. Right. 60% damage on a fusion rifle, that thing is going to get melted.
Yeah, that's going to get melted.
If people are running fusion, those barriers are going to drop. And that's one of those things. Oh, I'm playing Titans. I might need to switch to a fusion rifle. So they're going to make you kind of have to adapt depending on the class.
Right. And this, to me, is clearly a trial stage. Because the first thing that's going to happen is when trials start and your man go down, if you're Titan, you're putting that barricade up to what you. So they have to figure out a way to combat that. Again, a lot of these balances, I told you what was going to happen. People are like, oh, the meta, they're going to change the meta. A lot of this is the result of trials. I'm telling y'all right now.
Yeah, oh yeah. So the next one is one-shot abilities. This is big.
Yeah. Oh, this is big. Let me get it. You want me? Because I know this is your favorite.
What?
The introduction of the.
Oh no, the big one is the handheld.
I know. I know which one it is.
I've griped about that one a lot. So
right. So I can't.
Finally, it's getting some toning. I am not the only one. Handheld Supernova is busted.
Mm-hmm. You finished with your rant now? May I continue?
Yeah, you can go. We're starting with hunters anyway, so the throwing knife.
No doubt. So yeah, it looks like they're taking a class at it. Shot two of them. Then risk one factor. They looked at the hunter, obviously with a one-hit kill. And they said, we're going to warn you some changes, green or paper, but we made a point to really change the overall feel. All right. For the Titans free shoulder class ability, we reduced the auto targeting angle by 50%. That might sound like a lot, but acrobatic Titans who could previously auto target make an instant 90-degree turn. We've also adjusted the lunge distance to 5.5 meters for both targeted and untargeted lunges. Targeted lunges were previously 6 meters, while untargeted lunges were previously 4.5 meters. These changes make for a more consistent experience on lunges. For the hunter's weight at night, we reduced its tracking significantly and created.
Have you seen what that thing can do?
Yes, it's decent. And reduced tracking effect that make the knife more faithful initially for trajectory. And then for the Warlock's handheld Supernova, E's favorite, we made a number of changes to bring this ability in line with part of the handheld Supernova strength lies in its pairing with old exotic. And that's going to also be tuned. So Stu, they into that. That's going to get some type of. Our data indicated that even without controversy, handheld Supernova needed to be. Here are the changes: increase activation time by 0.6 seconds, reduce hold time. You can't hold around from 1 round to 2.5. Reduce range by 20%. Tighten the horizontal spread of the bolt by 25%. Bolt explosion now does self-damage. Interesting. Reduce bolt explosion radius from 25
You can talk a little louder, by the way. Are you like trying to be quiet?
Yeah, I'll be out. I didn't know if you could.
No, you're good. Yeah, you can talk a little louder. Yeah.
All right, cool. In our place testing, we found that the product of these changes is an ability that is still incredibly strong, but now has a risk-reward ratio commensurate power. After all, this thing can vaporize multiple PvP opponents.
No kidding. You don't say. You could wipe out a team sitting on a point with that damn thing, and it's one handheld Nova.
The disgust. And even after
it's disgusting. Or as Aztecross would say, it's nasty.
It's nasty.
It's been nasty. It's about to be a little less.
This man is loving this dirt. The tightening of the bolts leads to more concentrated damage at range. This is the silver lining. The tightening of the bolts leads to more concentrated damage at range, improving its viability against super. To compensate for this change, here's my part. Other elements of the middle void rack walker path are being buffed, including the Novo War Super, which now has increased damage resistance, a longer duration, and a reduced blink cost. So let's get Warlocks, Titans, punches? Where are you at with all of this?
Well, I feel like the shoulder charge already got some weird issues because, yeah, the auto targeting going down, I already feel like it's low because I've straight up whiffed shoulder charges. Now, I know some people hate the 90-degree turn, and honestly, like, that's a fair change. Shouldn't be able to do that. I'm honestly hoping some of the targeting and untargeted, I feel like if I'm, like, relatively near a person and I'm, like, looking at them, and I've got the shoulder charge fairly lined up, that I should actually hit, because I've missed some that I feel like should. We'll see how it lands, honestly.
I'm glad. They deserve all the smoke.
That's fine.
All the smoke.
Handheld Supernova was worse. Handheld Supernova was worse.
That run around the map, no skill. At least I got to hold it and charge and have some skill. This joint, you just run and look at somebody. It didn't even take that long to hold. You could hold it for 4 seconds around the corner and then spray a cone, take out multiple people. Go away. You just run it. Let me just run and crash into somebody and get an instant kill. Anyway.
Yeah, but I can't get to you with your Supernova. You melt me before I get there.
Yeah, but you can run indefinitely. I can't hold my Supernova indefinitely.
Well, that's a radar. You know when somebody's nearby.
Which
I have to get to you. Anyway, handheld Supernova. Reduced range. Look how many changes were done to mine, and look at all the list of stuff that was done to yours. Yeah. Which one needed more of the tweaks?
I would say handheld Supernova.
The bullet list says it all.
It can multi-kill. I would give you that.
It can multi-kill from range, and you hold it, and you get damage resistance with Controverse hold. Do I just need to keep talking?
No, but you can't act like it's not any skill involved with that, composed of you running around the map like a psychopath and just kneeing someone for an instant kill in depth. That's not skill-based.
Very minimal skill is required. When that charge time is so fast, I have been running around that corner, they turn and Supernova me. There is very little. They're like, oh, it's coming. Let me charge. Here he is. Bam. I at least have to go to you. You just sit there and wait. And
can I hold it indefinitely? Can I wait?
No, but you know if I'm getting.
Can I charge my no Super Bowl?
I never said you could, but you don't have to. You have range. You have your charge time. Your charge time allows you to charge it and throw it while I'm running at you.
And I can charge it indefinitely, so I can wait for the beginning. I can hold it as much as I want.
No, you don't have to. You have a range in front of you that it will fire. So it's like, oh, you're getting close. Charged up. He's in range. Fire.
It goes away. There's a plan.
I'm fully aware of how it works.
Okay, you do know this. Let's go make sure.
I have tried it. Yes, I'm fully aware of how it works.
I feel you're.
The handheld Supernova is broken, and it's gonna hopefully be less. Is all I'm saying.
It's not. All I'm saying. Don't act like there's no skill involved compared to your damn psychopath feet.
Do you know how many times? Do you know how easy it is to shut me down?
How?
Shotgun, fusion. I have to get melee range. I have to get melee range to you. I don't know what the range on yours, but they're reducing it by 20%, and it's still gonna hit from distance. I have to get within melee range. If you die to my shoulder charge, either I get you in the back, which I could deal you with a shotgun anyway, or I'm running around a corner, and guess what? You shouldn't be around the corner any more than you should if you had a shotgun.
You defending that. You are caping for that deep, but I'm going to let this ride.
Handheld Supernova's been worse than shoulder charge. 100%.
Yeah. Well, it both needed.
See you, said Fred.
Are happy. Good night, said Fred. Peace, yo. He said, I'm feeling the passion. That's Comcast as well. Even when we fight it. But
yes, they're getting tweaked, and your super's getting buffed, which is fitting because I feel like that was a little weak, so that's good.
Can I just say real quick, why in the hell, if it with this, it's funny about the Nova War, it's going through so many dramatic.
Oh, it's like roller coaster. Yeah, it's all up. They can't decide. It's too strong. It's too weak. It's too strong. It's too weak. What is it? We don't know.
It's just fun. Look at that. Let's get on.
All right. So, general subclass tuning. We made changes to a number of subclass paths in effort to tighten the gameplay balance. For example, Stormcaller top, Striker bottom, and Arc Strider bottom have remained dominant in PvP for multiple seasons. And this is again where you have to wonder. It's been dominant for multiple seasons. So you guys know it's been dominant for multiple seasons, but didn't feel like touching it. I mean, guys, come on.
We give them a good pass. We'll pull your resource thing. 7 years. 7 years.
Consistently beating out all other paths in both win rate and average efficiency. They actually talked early up. They talked about how much data they have about what players win. Like, is it perception versus reality? The number of wins, the time to kill, the number of weapons. Like, the data they have is insanity. Their data scientists have a lot to dig through. These paths have also ranked them on the top among PvE paths in terms of kills per minute, which is weird. I don't picture... I know top tree, like Stormcaller, bottom tree Striker. I could see some of those, but I don't picture Art Striders being like broken in PvE.
Yeah, I was surprised to see those were the dominant class.
PvE,
right?
yeah. I'm like, I go hammers. I don't picture those as killer in PvE, so weird.
Right.
We've adjusted these paths and others to bring them closer to the middle of the pack. On the other end of the path spectrum, paths such as Voidwalker bottom, Nightstalker bottom, and Striker middle, because the Striker missile, the flying human missile thing, nobody touches that thing. In PvE, it's like, oh, cool, one shot. We've taken steps to lift them up. In the spirit of transparency, we take no joy in nerfing the abilities, weapons, and armor that we all love to use. Just remember this when we talked about our weapons. We wish to answer keeping the game balanced and fresh was always to buff the underpowered elements. But such an approach leads to power creep. And they talked about creep in weapons. Again, using their words.
You twisted
The
that.
slow and the slow and steady increase of the average power of everything in the game, which trivializes the incredible game modes and encounters that the other teams at Bungie work to put together. After all, as Destiny players ourselves, we want to go home and play the game too, and we want the game to be as fun and healthy as possible. So that's most from them. Oh yeah, Hunter trip mines are sticky again. That's a good change. I always enjoyed those. I don't even play a Hunter. Those shit of things have never been not sticky. We've got some Twitch Prime awards. Link your Twitch account to Bungie account. Go to Amanda Holiday. She at least has something for you. Go get some cosmetics. If you didn't get Suros by 2 days ago, then you missed it. Sorry. They said upcoming resolved issues. They've got some stuff coming up for 10. Travel loading times will be returned to normal. Just in time for you to be done turning in your fractal line, so it's not going to matter.
Do that. But yo, loading time.
Yeah, that's the big one.
I don't know if you experienced it, E. It's been really bad. There was one time I actually left out food, did a whole bunch of stuff on PC. I still didn't.
What?
I'm talking about the tower loading. I've been experiencing.
Oh, they're awful.
Yeah. It's starting to hit me. I'm like, wow.
Oh yeah, they've been really bad. They were really bad on Fractal Line night. I went to go load in. I think I went to go get... It was like console loading times. I may as well go get some food, make some dinner. There's a couple things. There's a couple other patch notes and stuff, and there's a couple videos. They said, it's been an eventful week. No kidding. And we've shared a lot, but we aren't done yet. All of this Trials of Osiris talk may have some of you wondering if there's going to be PvE content coming next season. Luke mentioned we have more info coming and shared a cool picture of next season's artifact. So Luke Season's picture that he tweeted, which is kind of like the concept art, is like the Warmind sword.
Yes.
That's apparently going to be our artifact, so that's kind of cool.
Okay.
So Warmind sword thing going through Anna Bray or Osiris or Rasputin. Either way, artifact is going to be coming through Mars, would be a guess. There's a 4K picture of it out there if you want it as well. There will be plenty of players to do who prefer to take on the Minions of the Darkness. Next week, we'll share more on what to expect in Season of the Worthy. Only one more TWAB left to go before the new season. And 2 more TWABs before Trials. So I wonder if next week they cover the seasonal stuff, and then Thursday they cover the details about Trials, how it's going to work, and stuff like that. Do you think they'll break it down that way?
Yeah, I think so. I also think they've alluded to more nerf. Because, again, your beloved Anho Supernova is going to get more smoke. Because, shout out to my boy, Cool Guy. He's a huge controversial old guy. He's the one that put me onto that. That, or synergy with that, it has to get fixed. Because what's going to happen is, even with the nerfs, they're going to try to work around it by using that exotic to get more grenade energy faster and stuff like that. So they've got to treat that as well. Because overall, to be honest, every nerf I felt. You know what I'm saying? Titans had to get it. Warlocks had to get it with that. I like the melee change. Then we'll see. Other than that, I want to see how they attack the weaker moving subclass. I like that they're finally telling us, hey, these are the top classes. These are the ones that our stats say. Because now it's without dispute. Now we got to buff those others. Let's get that going on. Because again, trials is coming. We have to have a fair playing field that at least these other classes can compete somewhat. That's all.
Yeah. No, I mean, I agree. I think the subclass changes are good. They were needed. Some of these have been outstanding for a little while. We got Sandbox stuff changing. We've got subclasses changing. There's going to be a little bit more. I mean, things are definitely going to get a new coat of paint on. We'll see how Trials kind of irons out. They're trying to really make sure Trials kind of lands. The fixes with Trials coming in, obviously, the power not going to be that's huge. That was like the biggest thing all day. This could have been some stuff. That was like the biggest thing for all of this week was Luke Smith's tweet saying artifact power won't matter. I was like, you just saved a whole bunch of stuff right there for a little while. So that was big. But yeah, this one has been a minute. We're at 2:20. It is also, we got to let this man get ready to go back to PAX so he doesn't die. You guys have been awesome tonight. I got to say, chat has been crazy. This has been a passionate one this evening for sure.
I didn't think it was going to be the other way.
No, I thought we did it last week, honestly. I didn't think we were going to go at it again. I really didn't. But it is a fun one either way. By the way, it's nothing but love between us guys. We may differ on things, but there's nothing but good times going in here.
Brothers fight.
Exactly. Brothers kick the crap out of each other sometimes too. I know my brother and I did.
Chris Buster, thanks for the entertainment.
Hey, that's
look, I didn't. You know what? This one was completely unplanned. Like I thought we were going one on the bridge. I was going to accept it, and then you got.
I had to poke the bear because it's a hell of a lot of fun.
Then when I get going, it's on.
All right, you guys. Well, this has been bonus episode. It's number 92, which throws off my timing of episode 100. So we'll see how we name these things. But for the time being, you guys are awesome. If you guys listen to this on audio, you can find both of us. I'll let you do your outro real quick. Sorry.
No,
it's just late.
Listen.
I'm like,
no. I feel first of all, chat was amazing. The fact that you guys hit us up, loved last episode so much. You guys were tweeting both of us when the news about poking the bear on both sides. It was absolutely hilarious, and it really means because I know how much. You know what I'm saying? We both want the best thing for this game. And to see you guys say, yo, I can't wait for last word. Like that to me makes me really appreciate that you guys appreciate what we're doing. So that's number one. So shout out to you guys, Dakota, Hybrid, everybody, even the people that just all y'all too. You know, it's all love because he's got Luke Smith on bat phone right now. Everything is going according to plan. The evil exotics, the evil legendaries wipe away. It's only a matter of time. He's going to get his way. But I got to fight. I got to fight for the people with heart that love these things. The hoarders, as you call me. The 7-year guy.
Yeah, that might be your new title.
All
right, guys. So,
I'll tell you.
Make it fast.
Iron Lord Podcast. We're still at PAX. We're going to get a ton of content. Amazing. Man. Just keep looking at the channel. And again, LordsofGaming.com. Tremendous articles. You see the site. We're out here repping PAX in Boston. Be back at the end of the week. And then next week, right back in tune with my man, Eve for the last word. The best, I'm calling us the best Destiny podcast you never. Because a lot of people ain't hear us yet. When they hear us, they're going to understand what's. But again, it's all fun. It's all games. Guys, my brother, we love each other. We love this game. And it's great to see you guys support us the way you do. It really feels good. And that's why I like to stay up late and argue with them. It's got me crazy.
But yeah, you guys know where to find me as well. Twitch, Twitter, YouTube. Follow me. See what I'm playing. It's Ebontis everywhere. If you find the cheetah, you probably tripped over my stuff. If you guys do enjoy the videos, make sure you guys like them on both channels. Subscribe to both Iron Lords podcast and mine. The audio will be up later as well. So always make sure you guys definitely check into that one. The audio goes up so you guys can take it with you on the go. Always a nice way to do it. But overall, thank you guys very much. This has been episode 92, February 28th. February is almost done, but we got an extra day this year. So thank you guys very much. And as again, this has been
the last word.